She could show up to the bachelor party.
Also, kind of crazy.
Are
to
you
call
making
in...
you making her out to be some psycho that's
Yeah,
jealous? Jealous he's getting married, Billy. We don't know this woman.
He was the side piece, like to her.
That's true. You was
not
the side
him,
piece.
not her.
Unless he was
her.
also cheating on his new Beyonce with it too. He didn't add that part. He didn't really specify.
Also, kind of crazy that you would like. What did you expect us to say?
Yeah.
You want to hear what Billy
He
had to
wanted
say?
to
Yeah,
see what
bro.
Billy had to say.
Fuck it, bro. It was a long time ago. 3 years. What's up, Macrodosians? How's everybody living out there? My name's Arian. This is Big T.
Yo, yo.
This is Billy.
How we doing?
This is PFT. Psych, that motherfucker ain't here. We got Mac and Maddie on the ones and twos. It's a beautiful day. It's Valentine's Day today.
True.
What's
Happy
up?
Valentine's Day, guys.
Happy Valentine's Day, ladies and
Thanks.
fellas or whatever. Mostly the ladies. But y'all got any Valentine's plans? What's happening?
I love love.
Okay. Y'all got any? Okay, I'll start with mine. So I'm taking my dumb ass, get my my daughters to a cooking class. So like
Aww.
yeah, it's gonna be really dope. So we're gonna cook a meal. It's gonna be like Mediterranean style, and so we can sit there and we're gonna learn how to cook the meal, and then we're gonna cook the meal together. It's gonna be really dope. And
That's really sweet.
yeah, I'm having them. I'm telling their moms to have them like dress up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing crazy, but you know, look a little presentable. I'm getting my hair braided after this, and you know, I'm gonna dress up as much as I can because I don't really have dress up clothes. But I'm gonna look presentable, and I'm gonna pick them up, and we're gonna have like a nice little dead night, man. It's gonna be fun.
That's really sweet.
That's cute.
Aww.
Yeah. All right. Calm down.
That's
All
sweet.
right.
That's cute.
Y'all
Good
got
one.
y'all got any plans?
I'm gonna eat ramen
Okay.
from Arian's recommendation of a place in Chicago.
All right. That's an amazing spot too. Amazing.
Yeah.
Are you
But
gonna go
that's it.
there? You should go there.
Is it cool inside?
Because they have like these these drinks that are like really dope. You know what I'm saying? That they can't deliver. So like it's better to experience the experience there.
Maybe I'll stop on it.
Yeah, I really think you should.
But
So
yeah,
what anybody else got the Valentine's Day plans?
Yeah, Tennessee, Arkansas, 8 o'clock. Need to win tonight. Must win.
Why is it a must win?
Lost our last road game on Saturday. Arkansas is a bad team. Need to just hammer them, take care of business.
Okay.
Is that the Must Bus?
Yeah, but they're terrible this year. Lot of rumors around that team.
Yeah.
That's all I
What
can
kind of
say.
rumors?
A lot of rumors.
I've heard about these rumors.
What are the rumors?
About Arkansas?
I think they're untrue, but a lot of rumors.
I'm like 16 days away from getting into college basketball. So,
Well, they're not going to be in the tournament, so you don't need to worry about them.
okay, so let's hear about the rumors.
Jack
look up
Mack
the
has a
rumors.
TikTok you can check out if you're interested.
Okay.
I believe they're untrue, very unsubstantiated.
I'm going to go
But
find the
juicy.
unsubstantiated
Damn.
rumors for everyone who's looking for them. Kind of crazy though. Super Bowl right before. I remember the day that the Super Bowl was right before the day before Valentine's Day. That was tough. But we got to figure this out because like hungover Monday, and you're trying to get together time to do the extra stuff in with your chores, your work to set up the things, get the gifts, do the flowers, the real floral relation.
Who's delegating
Who's
you
doing
chores, my guy?
I got my own chores. I like assign myself chores to get them done. You know what I'm saying?
Adults call those errands, man.
Yeah, but like
Billy has a
make-
chore chart at home.
Yeah, I do have a chore
it just
chart.
says
No,
Billy
hang on,
next to
hang
all
on.
of them.
To me, chores are in the house, errands
Yes.
are out of the house.
Yeah, I agree with
Yes,
that.
yes.
I get
So
that.
like chores as in like laundry.
Y'all call them chores?
Well,
I would
doing
say-
your laundry, making the bed, cleaning the house.
Yeah, those are
Yeah,
chores,
stuff you have
not
to do
errands.
in the
Okay,
house
household chores.
is
Okay,
a
okay,
chore.
I'm with you. All right.
I mean, yeah. So like doing that plus everything else, trying to find time in that post Super Bowl haze for Valentine's Day errands. It's tough, but we can do it, fellas.
You got
can do
this.
it.
By the time this pod comes out, they would either have executed or dropped the ball. So
Yeah.
I hope they have.
There was nothing worse than like dropping the ball on Valentine's Day. Like that stays with you forever. That's
As a man, yeah.
That's a permanent mark on your record.
women, I have questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, flowers.
Yes.
All right, I don't get them, right?
I love flowers.
I bet, but I'm just why? Because they and this is maybe my I'm just like a pessimist by nature. Like, well, not by nature. World made me that way. I used to be good, but when I see flowers or somebody gives me flowers, I'm like, now I got to take care of them. You making me that's talk about chores. Now I got another chore. I got to water these motherfuckers. But like not for very long. We all know they away from they roots, so they're gonna die soon. You know what I'm saying? So it's now you just give me something that I know is about to die, and I got to take care of. Like explain to me the appeal.
I actually kind of agree with that. Like my dad for years would always get my mom flowers and she would say the same thing. Like, all right, now I got to take care of them. They're going to die. And then one year my dad got my mom chocolate covered strawberries instead of flowers. And she was like, this is the best thing ever. So I kind of agree with that. But I do think flowers are just generally a nice gesture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And see, I get what you're saying, but they're gonna die. I think though it's nice when you get a nice fresh set of flowers from someone, and then like every time you look at them, it reminds you like, oh, this person cares about me enough to get me flowers. Like they went out of their way to get me something and provide me an act of service. I also think when
that would be a gift, not an act of service.
True. But like I think if your partner and you live close together and you're a boy and you get your girlfriend flowers on the regular, I think it's a nice thing to continue to do. Like every couple weeks, just a nice little set of flowers. They're not very expensive. You can get Trader Joe's has like really, really good flower selection for very cheap. And it's just nice. I like having fresh flowers in my home like all the time.
Gotcha. Okay,
so it's just a nice little gesture. I think it's a little thing that you can do to remind someone that you're thinking of them.
Okay, so it's not no shade. I was genuinely curious, but I've gotten flowers, and I'm just like, man, I'm not finna put them in a jar. Or
I also think men deserve flowers more than they get them. I think men should get flowers.
Flowers are a triple threat.
Metaphorically or figuratively?
I mean, literally. I think that I've heard the saying that the only time men will get flowers is at their funerals. And that makes me sad. I think men should get flowers more often.
Damn, man, that's sad as motherfucker. That's true though.
Have you not heard that? I hear that.
That's crazy.
Like
it's true.
When boys are sad on tour, they'll be like the only time men will get flowers is at their funeral. I'm like, wait, no, but they should get flowers too. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
Give me my flowers via my open bar at my funeral, because I want an open bar at my funeral. Everybody come get faded. Don't bring no flowers. Bring a bottle, dog.
Right. Like, yeah, like sometimes people don't want flowers at their funerals, but like men should also get flowers. And it's a great surprise. You just show up somewhere and you have a little bouquet of flowers. Oh, what a surprise.
So that's what I've learned, right? That's what I've learned. So like if I'm with a lady and she enjoys flowers, I will get her flowers occasionally. Like I'm not like an asshole, right? But like I'll give the flowers. But if she doesn't, that's what's up, because I don't really fuck with flowers.
Right.
But
if
what
she doesn't
want
flowers, get her what she like. This chocolate covered strawberries.
Yeah.
Or
so this is little relationship advice, right? I don't necessarily agree that how everybody wants or needs to be loved fits in, in these like nice little neat boxes, right? But that love language stuff is a very real thing that I have learned over the years is a good baseline to see how people desire to be loved, right? So you take that little love language test, and it's all quirky little lame questions, but it gives you a good idea. So like, for instance, Maddie, just listening to you, it sounds like when you receive gifts, that is a love language to you, that you interpret that as, oh, he was thinking about me, and I appreciate that as a gift, right? See, me, when people buy me gifts, I get very uncomfortable. I'm like, don't buy me anything. I don't need anything. Like, it's a very uncomfortable thing. I don't feel like I understand the gesture, so I appreciate it. Like, so I'm not like, you dick, why did you give me anything? No. But it's just not how I receive. How I receive love is like an acts of service, right? If I got a lot on my plate and you handle one of the things for me, or you take care of something I
Someone cleans
love
the
that.
kitchen for you.
Yeah, I love that type shit.
Yeah.
That to me, that's how I receive it. Also, like words of affirmation. Like when you tell me, "Hey, man, you a good dude. Fuck with you in the long," that type stuff.
Yeah.
That's how I receive love. But also,
I
like what I learned is learning how your counterpart loves, and then acquiescing to that is very healthy.
Because yeah, there's like two different ways that like love languages can be used. It's like, how do I want to receive love, and how do you, like, does your partner want, like, how can you give love to them in the way that they would want? Because some people are like not words of affirmation people. I am, but like some people don't like when you're like, you're great, you're amazing, you're awesome, and they're like, ugh, stop it. And you may think that you're doing a good thing, which you are, but like that's not how they want to be loved. So then you have to find that out.
Yeah, you gotta find that balance. Love that. Love that.
Happy
All right.
Valentine's Day, everyone.
Yeah, happy Valentine's. Love talk with the squad,
Yeah.
Love is blind. All right. Valentine's Day. This is the last Valentine's Day talk. I don't know if y'all are into Love is Blind, but I'm is. Love is Blind is back. First episode drops today for y'all. First episode drops yesterday. I'm excited. Is anybody else here watch that, or is it just me?
I've watched it before, but not like intensely.
Damn.
I just finished Love on the Spectrum. I have not seen Love is Blind.
So
love Love on the Spectrum.
So good.
My shit shatters my heart, man.
I know, it's literally so touching.
Love on the Spectrum?
Yeah, it's sad as shit. It's like happy.
Is it sad?
It's happy.
Like happy sad.
It's happy. It makes me happy cry.
No. It's happy sad. What are y'all talking about?
But it is happy sad. I get
happy,
what you're saying.
but it's sad, bro. Like,
yeah.
Like I remember one of the first dudes is like, which is dope. He can communicate this, right? But what he's communicating is sad. When he was like, I haven't. He's like, I haven't had anybody love me since when I was. I'm paraphrasing. I don't want to fuck it up, but like, he's like, since I was born. He's like, and so it's like I'm 26 years old. He's like, I've never had anybody love me. But he was like really happy saying it, so he's excited about getting to know somebody. But it was like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And then the sadder part is like, there's this other one I was watching with this mother, who like it's a struggle with somebody who is like that far on the spectrum to where they have to like live with their parents and the parents kind of have to take care of them. It's a struggle for the family. You know what I'm saying? Because like when you have kids, in our society, like the norm is, you have kids, you teach them well, they have dreams, goals, aspirations, fall in love, and then they get out and do their own thing. If you're that far on the spectrum, it's harder to, be a part of society in that way. So you're kind of like beholden to taking care of them, and you can see that struggle with the mother. And she
is it Connor's mom?
I forget her name. It was a lady. It was like a blonde girl. I forget her name.
Oh, Abby.
Could be Abby. Yeah.
Quick question: are these people on the spectrum who are already in love, or are they trying to make them like put them on a dating show?
Yeah, it's like they're not in love and they're looking to date. So the whole show is about having these people with autism.
They do like speed dating,
like
groups where they meet,
find
and
love.
stuff.
But they
That's
worked.
a little exploitative.
Why?
Oh, welcome
Everyone
to our society,
deserves to
Billy.
find love.
They agreed to be on the show.
Yeah, it's not like it was like on accident.
I thought, they were just like, oh, these are two people who are already in love, and we're just looking at their love of each other and how they can like show everyone, but them like almost competing against each other.
No. It's not like The Bachelor.
Okay. It's not like that.
It's not.
It's not The Bachelor.
Yeah.
That's what you guys made it sound like.
No, they're like setting, like each person is set up with someone. It's not like a competition show at all.
No.
It's just a feel-good show.
It's exploitive in the sense of like they're using their journeys and making money off it. Netflix is, right?
Yeah.
But they sign up for it.
Oh, see, now you sound like a capitalist, Maddie.
Oh, sorry. I think it's nice to show that even people with different abilities like that, I think it's nice to show that they want love just as much as like everyone else does.
I think the normalization of it, because like when you think of people on the spectrum, like you don't really understand what the spectrum means, and they call it a spectrum because it's a vast array of behavioral challenges or cognitive issues, whatever the case may be. And it kind of normalizes it in a sense, because I have never really been around anybody that's been on the spectrum like that. I've had people who be like, yo, I got ADD or ADHD, and they're just like, kind of sporadic and everywhere. But like that was normal because I think maybe I did. But as far as like on the spectrum, like I've never really been around it in that capacity. And so it kind of like warms your heart to that and it normalizes it in a sense. And so it's a really dope show. I recommend it for sure.
It's so cute. It's so sweet. It makes me happy. It's just a good like it's a good like humans are good show.
Nice.
Humans can be. I don't know if it takes me there, but yeah.
Makes me happy.
Anyways. Is nobody's Catholic here, right?
Yep, I am.
Technically.
Isn't today Ash? That's is y'all thing?
It is Ash Wednesday.
It is
Happy Ash Wednesday. Happy Lent to all who observe.
There you go. So y'all, y'all ain't got the.
I didn't go get my ashes.
I didn't.
I haven't found a church here.
I took a shower.
Did you get your ashes?
Into the shower?
Yeah. What?
Well, because it's right next to my gym, so I just like did it.
You just popped in.
Oh, no meat today.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. And my great uncle is a priest, and he said the only days that really matter, because you're supposed to do every Friday no meat.
Yeah, they just made that up to get the fishermen.
He said the only days that really matter are Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. All the other Fridays, like, you can eat meat. It's fine.
Shoot!
And I forgot today, right now.
So who picks what to give up for Lent? Is this like is the Pope pick it, or how does this work?
No, it's a
it's
personal
like an individual thing.
Okay, I was asking questions, Big T. Goddamn.
No, I wasn't. I was just.
I thought you snapped on me a little bit.
Question.
I mean,
no, it's a personal thing. Like Arian, you give up something that you deem a vice to you. Billy gives up something else.
I'm giving up lying for Lent.
Good, Bill.
Oh wow.
Yeah, fucking luck, buddy.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of lying, did you send PFT that footage?
Oh yeah, so I have the footage. Should I send it to a Dropbox?
Oh no!
No, I have it.
You talking about security footage that you jacked?
Yes.
I made my own.
This is
separate. But also, Billy, he did say
by 12 on
Wednesday at noon.
No, he just said I had to have the footage.
No. Bad start to Lent.
No, but where am I supposed to put this? How am I supposed to send 2 hours of 4K footage to PFT? That is just logistically.
It's on a GoPro.
It's
not
what
in
4K. What is this footage? I missed the last episode.
I'm making basketball propaganda, Arian. I'm just putting out highlight tapes for my pickup games now because I can't stand all this.
Yo, you are ridiculous with this, man. It is beyond ridiculous.
It's a good bit.
It's not a good bit. You suck at basketball. It's not a bit. This was funny. You gonna play it off as a bit, but it's really getting to you that motherfuckers keep calling you horrible at basketball.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Do you guys want to see the highlight tape?
Yeah, send it through, man.
Actually, I'm going to be honest. Getting stuff off of GoPro is hard because it chapters. If it's a very long tape, it like chapters a lot of the tape. So we're figuring it out.
Oh,
but this basketball obsession of creating footage is really helping my editing skills. I might start making feature-length films someday, and it's all because Arian talked so much shit to me during a 2-on-2 game. It forced me to apply myself to video editing.
Forced you to go in the back closets of Barstool security cam footage. Unreal.
So look, the new office is set up, so that isn't technically their security footage. They just specifically put a camera there to record basketball games.
But it's rarely used.
Isn't it just like motion detector? So it's not like we didn't get on the court thinking, "Hey, let's play basketball for the footage." You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you challenged me to the one-on-one.
Okay. You know what? You got it, Billy. You're so good at basketball, man.
No, I'm not. No, I'm terrible. This next game, you're gonna destroy me, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm very ready for that.
1,000%.
So,
but I don't want to beat a dead horse, man.
Yeah.
Oh, did y'all see Tiger came out with a new clothing brand?
No.
Yes, Sunday Red, right?
Yeah, Sunday Red. A lot of folks in the comments, a lot of Sperry Rares don't like it in the comments, right? And that's fine. That's fine. it may not be for everybody. I'm not saying the logo is like the greatest thing on earth, but I'm just a Tiger stan, and that might be it. Like anything that dude gonna put out, I'm fucking with. Like he's just the GOAT. And so it's like I can't wait. I don't think I've ever signed up for an email list in my life. I have signed up for a Sunday Red email list, and it comes out first, and I can't wait. I'm gonna rock this shit all the time. I'm gonna buy everything. It's gonna be sold out fast, so I'm gonna be 11:59 at midnight waiting for this to drop. But I just think it's dope that you can pivot from a major brand like that, man. And like I don't hate the logo. The logo's kind of dope to me. Like if y'all look at the logo, it's like a tiger with no like definitive like outline. That was pretty unique to me. It was pretty dope. I wish he would have took, because I think he did. He owns the rights to the TW, the Tiger Woods logo
Yeah, I
that he
think
had.
so.
So he owns those rights. I don't know why he didn't just like use that Tiger logo. I like it, but like on the back of something, put the TW. You know what I'm saying? That would still make it really dope to me. But he has pivoted. He's no longer a Nike athlete, and I'm all for it, man. I love it.
This is actually the first I've seen of this. I thought it was like a foregone conclusion. I forget the name of the brand, but that he was going to move to. Do you remember? Everyone's like, he's for sure going to this, and it's like a just golf brand. I can't remember the name of it.
TaylorMade.
No,
Yeah.
No. It was
That's who he was with. Yeah, that's who he is with and was.
no, but
So like he before so like after Nike discontinued their golf clubs for, I think this was in the early 2000s or a little late, maybe late 2000s. And so they stopped making golf clubs. They went into the red, and they were just off of it. So ever since then, he pivoted and he went to TaylorMade. So he's been with TaylorMade like golf clubs for ever.
no, not clubs. With his new apparel.
Oh,
When he left Nike, there was a brand that everybody was like, he's going to this, and now I can't remember the name of it, but I didn't know until just now that he was coming out with his own brand.
But it's like it's within the umbrella of TaylorMade.
His
So
brand is?
Yeah, it's partnered with TaylorMade.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, y'all check it out if you fuck with Tiger. If you don't, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Did you see any of the free throw challenge?
I did. I watched them.
That
You was killing.
Well, no.
It was
So
killing.
the problem was going into it, everybody was like Titus and Big T, Titus and Big T. Titus is a machine. He's an animal. He shot probably 95% over the course of 18 hours. I'm pretty good for a normal person, probably like 80%. So I would make 6 or 7 in a row and then miss. Then Dave would be like, "Oh, Big T sucks." And then after a while,
I saw that. You better than me. Because then I saw him shoot. He can't shoot a fucking.
Dave did much better than I think everybody anticipated.
Boy, that boy is under the garbage juice. He's horrible.
Well, listen, we only got to the 41st shot one time, and he nailed it.
You gonna
that
cap
was
for that
wild.
weak ass? You got a horrible ass shot.
That's pressure.
Hey man, you could sunshine on the dogs. What is that shit? Broken clock right 2 times a day.
Well, thank God it was right, because if we got to that 41st and he missed, the vibes in that gym would have been genuinely dark.
You guys, did you have a mulligan on that one? Or
Yeah,
no?
they used it on
They had used
15
already, okay.
and then made the last 26.
Jeez.
Quick question: who is the UNH guy
So
who's playing?
Scott.
so once Pat Bev left at 2 a.m., the vibes were pretty low, and we were like, we need to find somebody that can make some free throws. And so Jack McCarthy and I think Jake Marsh and some other people tweeted out, like, if you live near Chicago and you can make free throws, please tell us. And that guy at like 6 a.m. woke up and was like, hey, I played basketball in New Hampshire. Like, I can make as many as you need. And he showed up and was a fucking assassin. I mean,
How many did he make in the last 41?
I'm not sure. Probably 20. I mean, he did
Wait,
not
they
miss.
removed the 10? They removed the 10?
No, but you could make 10 in a row more than once, but you could only make 10 in a row.
Oh.
And he
Okay, so
now
I was
that
wondering
makes
that. I was
sense.
wondering the structure. The structure didn't make any sense to me. So one person could make 10 in a row, and then you had to switch the order.
So it was a team of 7 people per round. Everyone had to make at least 2. Dave had to make the 15th, 30th, and 41st. And other than that, you could only make 10 in a row. So you could go like Titus could make 10 to start. Then you could have 2 people make their 2. And then Dave would shoot the 15th. Then you could go Titus for 10 more if you want, or Scott, the guy who came in. But everybody had to make at least 2. That to prevent, Titus could have made 41 in a row in 2 hours, and we would have been out of there
easily. Yeah.
What was who's the final 5 in that 41? It was Scott,
Titus, Scott, Mantis, Kirk.
No, I picked up in like the middle and like maybe a little bit towards the end. This, I would watch it for like 2 or 3 minutes and then, going about my business. But I looked at the stats and it said Big Cat was like hitting. Was that accurate, or was that like a bit?
Well, it kept track of makes, not percentage. So Big Cat made a shit ton, but he also missed a bunch.
Gotcha. Okay. Did they come out with like the full percentages? That'd be a dope.
I don't think they were keeping track of percentage. I think they were only keeping track of makes.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
So
they had
they had attempts, right?
Correct, but not.
There's a way to break it down, not
individual.
individually.
Only the total.
Oh wait, so when did? Because you were making 6 in a row, and you said then Dave was just like.
Well,
after
6 or 7 hours, I fell off hard. Like I took myself out. I was like, I'm off. But I mean, I probably still shot 75% over the course of the whole thing.
I can see how that could happen. Like,
I mean, it was after we started at 4. By 11 o'clock, it was like getting bad. And then now when Pat Bev showed up, we were like, okay, we're golden. We're gonna get this. And then he was there for an hour and a half or so. And then once he left, we were like, well, hope is bleak.
How did Pat do?
I mean, he missed 1, I think. But I mean, he probably shot 90%.
By the way, he had a game that day and a game the next day, right?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
He's awesome. He's a legend for doing that.
What's his stats from?
He was 2 for 3 from the field last night, I think, after doing that.
I mean, it would be crazy if he just went on an insane free throw streak.
Yeah,
because he was hitting so many free throws.
He also just moved to Milwaukee. Like he literally just got there.
Yeah, crazy. He was awesome for doing that.
He's for the boys for sure.
I mean, if you're a coach or a GM, and you see Pat Bev shooting free throws with a bunch of people, it's not a distraction. He's literally practicing basketball.
That's true.
But yeah, I've never been happier to get into bed than I was yesterday at 9 a.m.
Jeez.
How long did the whole thing take?
Like 18 hours. It was like 4 p.m. on Monday to 7:30 on Tuesday.
That's crazy, yo.
It was not fun, but it was. We did it.
Damn.
Big sweet out there, man. You don't want to get this 2v2 versus Barstool thing cracking, huh?
When we did that, you played very well. If it's 2-on-2, I'm getting run ragged on defense. I need 10 guys on the court so that on D it's if somebody gets the ball down low, I'm playing defense. But other than that, I need a break.
That's funny, man.
2v2 was horrible.
Yeah, he was on skates a lot.
Yeah, I'm not a great defender.
I feel that.
Particularly on the ball on the perimeter. Get me down low and I'll take you.
Yeah, Big T is a wall.
I'm gonna hold my tongue with your basketball takes, Billy.
I didn't make a shot that 2-on-2 game because inside I couldn't do anything against Big T, and outside my shot wasn't down yet.
Didn't say yet. All right, man. Moving on. Here's a take. Thanos was correct. Last night. Thanos is right. Y'all know the premise of Thanos?
You wanted half the population so that we...
No. See, this is where the propaganda sets in, right? Now, his execution was wrong, admittedly, but he's correct. His argument was there's too much people and not enough resources. He was correct, right? But the problem was, instead of, so he could have got the Infinity Stones. And I don't know how big of Marvel fans y'all are, but He could have got the Infinity Stones and snapped his fingers and created 2 times as much resources, but instead he chose to kill off half the population. Little genocidal, yeah, a little wild for that, but he wasn't wrong. I'm just saying.
What
I
was
said
that
that.
What's
leading
triggering
into
this?
something?
No, I was just thinking about that last night, and so I just had to bring it up.
Oh, I thought you
What
had an
triggered it?
experience that like prompted that thought.
No, I was literally watching. I was watching Endgame, and I was listening to him. I was like, he's not totally wrong. He's not. He just his execution was bad. He should have just not been a weirdo and just made more resources, and everybody been happy. But he decided to kill everybody, which is wild.
Were you watching on the Viz Pro?
You said what?
Were you watching on the Viz Pro?
No, I was watching on the Viz Pro. Which, hey, did you see Mark Zuckerberg's
Yeah.
flatback?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It seems a little catty.
I mean, it's kind of like, imagine if you were doing something before anybody else, and then some guy shows up and everyone's just like, oh shit, this is the future now. And you've been like working on it for 5 years.
But that's the thing, though. Hold on. Like I'm gonna find this again. Hold on. It wasn't in your email, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's in the email. It's a link. It's number 4.
Okay, hold on. Because this is what I found interesting. All I see is pick up highlights. What is this?
Oh, that's I sent the highlights.
This guy here, man. You're fucking hell. Mark Zuckerberg roasts Apple Vision Pro. We got to get away from that as a society too. Labeling YouTube videos with these capital letters, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or eviscerates liberal in the crowd talking about transition.
No, those are good. Those are good videos.
Those are fucking dumb, bro. It's stupid as hell. All right, so I watched that video. I watched the whole Mark Zuckerberg thing, and he made some fair points. The one thing that I do think Apple Vision Pro is lacking is its ability to interface with other users. So you are in a world by yourself, which the world is fire. But if I got one of the homies that has the Apple Vision Pro, let's be able to play some games with each other. Let's be able to like, you know, saying like, you know how you can set your I guess your windows. You can set your windows. Let that be a thing where if I set it, it's also set on his as well. You know what I'm saying? Like the capability to collab with somebody else with the same product is not there, which I think it will be in the next version. But here's what I saw, and I think this is, unless this is fake news, I don't think it is. I think this is real. So when Apple first came out, because they created like the first personal computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when Apple first came out, their competitor was IBM. Okay. So when IBM came out with a personal computer, Apple wrote a statement talking about IBM, which I thought was fire. And it's like the exact opposite. And this is how far we are with a society. And I think it has to do with, you know, our economic system. But, you know, we'll leave that there. So here's the statement. It says, welcome, IBM. Seriously. And this is, if you look at it, it says, welcome, IBM. Seriously, right? In bold letters. It's like, seriously. And it says, welcome to the most exciting and important marketplace since the computer revolution began 35 years ago. And congratulations on your first personal computer. Putting real computer power in the hands of the individual is already improving work, think, learn, communicate, and spend their leisure hours. Computer literacy is fast becoming as fundamental a skill as reading or writing. When we invented the first personal computer system, we estimated that over 140 million people worldwide could justify the purchase of one if only they understood its benefits. Next year alone, we project that well over 1 million people will come to the understanding. Over the next decade, the growth of personal computer will continue in rhythmic leaps. We look forward to responsible competition in the massive effort to distribute this American technology to the world. And we appreciate the magnitude of your commitment because what we are doing is increasing social capital by enhancing individual productivity. Welcome to the task, Apple. I thought that shit was fantastic because it's like we in the same competitive space, but we have the same goal, which is enhancing our consumers' lives in a way that makes everybody more productive and just world. And then fast forward 30 years later, Mark Zuckerberg echoes the exact opposite. And it was like, they shit kind of trash, dog. And it's less and it's more expensive. So like, fuck with our shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I felt the way about it. I don't
Well,
know.
he saw the writing on the wall. The way I saw it was, he was describing about how Apple basically totally outcompeted all the computers, all the iPhone stuff. Every time they've shown up to a space, they've just alphaed everybody. And he was trying to say this won't be the case this time. De facto, just because their stuff looks sleek in the Apple way does not mean that it's better than our stuff. Like, I am not Windows. I am not IBM. I am not going to be basically outclassed just because Apple put something out and has that weird matte silver on it. Like, we are going to be able to compete. Our stuff is de facto better, and it might be from like, if you look at all the stuff that they've been doing, like we talked about, they have interfaces with Xbox. They have interfaces with different technologies. He's got a point, but yeah, it did come off as like with animosity, but also kind of shows the kind of human side of Zuck.
You liked it.
I didn't like it. I just thought it's funny seeing a guy who's been like changed his whole company's name to Meta from Facebook. He invested all this money in this pivot to be on the forefront of the metaverse, these vision goggle stuff to like put people into new worlds. And basically Apple shows up on the block and he's like, no, you know what? I'm gonna talk some shit. Like I'm gonna
Yeah,
write a
I
diss
hate that
track
shit,
in
bro.
a only tech
That's what
CEO type of
that's what
way.
I'm saying. I hate that shit, dog. Like everything, like for, to a certain extent, competition does breed some innovation. It does motivate you in a certain way. But there comes a point in time, like, dog, you are Mark Zuckerberg, fam. If Meta fails, or if the Meta Quest fails, you gonna be straight, right? His like to me right now, his goal should not be to outcompete a competing company. His goal should be like, how can we make this world a better place? You're a fucking multi-billionaire. You're gonna die attempting to spend that money. Your goal should not be to beat Tim Cook. Your goal should be like, how can we get this society in a better place? And so to me, like that disposition of like, yeah, but they shit is and our shit is, it's like a child. Like, but you won already. Let's make this place better. At what point is enough enough, doggy? Like at what point?
Well, the thing is, I think he's super insecure because it's starting to sort of come out that the reason why Facebook became so successful was that it was a data mining op by the government. Like basically
Well, I haven't heard
Palantir.
this. I haven't heard
Well,
this.
we
Well,
talked about this with Palantir and Peter Thiel, that they basically invested so much in Facebook in order to have government contracts. Like the reason why Facebook attracted so much attention was not because of the interface or the idea, because MySpace was out there. Social media wasn't invented by Mark Zuckerberg. Um, but that it was a great way, in a way that probably Mark Zuckerberg didn't even imagine it being used, for the government to harvest information. So if you're in the back of your head thinking that you're an absolute fraud because Facebook wasn't, not only was it the idea taken from two twins, not only was it not successful because it was a great product, but that it was pushed to the masses because it got tons of funding from basically the spy intelligence complex, industrial complex, kind of under Palantir and the government Patriot Act. You're going to start doubting if you're really this revolutionary tech CEO that, like, this is going to be his thing that no one can take from him, that he's going to take us to the metaverse, Mark Zuckerberg, and prove that he is this tech mastermind that was so revolutionary, and it wasn't all these doubting facts about, he didn't even make up the idea and his funding wasn't because of his innovations. So he's insecure in his own right for those things. And he's sitting in his giant ranch in Hawaii making bunkers, and he's just thinking like, we're going to the metaverse and everyone's gonna think I'm cool for it. And he's pissed because
is that true? Is so I have not cared enough to look into the origins of Facebook. I did see that movie, The Social Network, which I thought was fire.
right.
And but he steal the idea from those twins?
Yeah, essentially, like,
Because like to me, one of the more funny and powerful quotes of the movie was when they were sitting in the office with all the lawyers, and he's like sitting there. I think he's talking about a Rubik's cube or something like that. And he was like, "If you would have invented Facebook, you would have invented Facebook. It's that simple." And he sat back
Right.
down, which was a dope quote, which makes sense. But I'm like, I don't know enough about it. I have never really
Right.
dug into it.
Well, not only I'm just there's a lot of doubters for any like flip of the coin and success. There's going to be people who are going to be like, totally find some way to debase any of your accomplishments. And it kind of sucks for anyone who accomplished anything. Like, look, like Arian, de facto, you were an amazing running back in the NFL. And it's terrible how many people, like, how many Warren Sapps there are out there. So Zuckerberg's got 1,000 more. I don't mean to bring that up. But like, you got what I'm saying?
Oh, you saw that little spat?
I mean, I can't believe, like, what the hell is wrong with it?
I don't know, man.
We can cut this part because
I don't give a fuck about that nigga,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah, I don't give
But like Zuckerberg's got 1,000 more people who are saying like he stole the idea, his innovations didn't get him the funding, and his like ability to secure funding wasn't because of his efforts, but that it was he was a useful idiot for the government to get data.
So
Like
you're
all
saying he is drowning in his own ego.
Yeah, and he's in this position, right? He's probably got imposter syndrome in like the tech CEO world because like you can write off all of your accomplishments and everyone thinks you're a robot and you're trying to figure out like, okay, I got to do something like it's a what have I done for you lately game, and his metaverse thing was supposed to be what he was supposed to do lately, and Apple just cucked him. Zuck got cucked. And now he's like trying to be like, no, my stuff is better. Like they had a better media campaign where they got people like wearing in the streets and on the subway, but like our stuff is de facto better. Which I like.
You keep saying de facto. Is there a reason for that?
I think he just likes the word, man.
Well, no, because
They
he's
said it like
saying
4 times.
well, that's what he said in the thing. That's what he said in the video.
Oh, okay. So you're just
Yeah.
okay.
So like
Gotcha.
I'm parroting.
So de facto, so are you.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean I don't know. I'm gonna take your word for it, and it's Lent, so you're not gonna be lying to me. So I'm gonna take your word for it. But like I said, I don't know enough about the origins of Facebook to make that distinction. But I don't know, man. To me, it was just sad, dog. It's just like you would think at some point the greatest mind in the world, or not even the greatest minds, because who knows, but just like the greatest asset accumulators in our world will come together and be like, "Hey, we got a lot of bread, dog. Let's figure out how to help people. Like, let's stop competing with each other and just like make this place a better place."
Mm.
It's just not a hard thought, and it's what Jesus would do, right, Big T?
Huh?
Nah, you're right. Jesus was like, "Fuck that. Like, let's go get this money and meta."
Arian, we gotta get some of your Super Bowl takes.
Let's
What do you
do
think
it.
of the Jesus commercial?
That I fell out laughing, dog. I was dying on my couch watching that shit, son. It was just one of the funnier things in the world. It's just the irony of it is just hilarious. Like it's maybe like what $7 to $10 million to buy an ad in a Super Bowl, and so you spend like $10 million, and then like there was a preacher watching a gay man's feet. There was like it was just like yeah, this is wow. It was just hey man, teach his own man. If you got inspiration from it, you got inspiration from it. I thought it was highly unnecessary, but I thought that shit was I was literally dying laughing, though. That shit was hilarious, man.
My favorite was the two dudes sharing a foot bath on a porch, chilling with each
Yeah, like
other.
the black dude and the white dude, old black man, old white man on the porch with 1 foot in a
Those guys are having a good time on that porch.
it's like what the fuck is this? It just I think there's more creative ways to send that message, but it was interesting and it was hilarious for sure.
17.5 million by the Hobby Lobby people.
$17 million, though.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, man. And the crazier part was like evangelicals don't like that commercial. And like I'm pretty sure like right wing folks don't really like that commercial, and left wing folks don't like that commercial. So I don't understand what they were like. What was their goal?
I've seen people hate it for very opposite reasons.
This is what I'm saying. Like, right, like people on the right will hate it because it's like woke. Why would a preacher watch the feet of a gay man? You know what I'm saying? And like the whole gay thing is an abomination. Like, so like right people of the right one, like the people of the left one, like it was like, well, this is corny, one, but two, like you spending all this money, very un-Christ-like. So it's like it's just I don't know what the goal was, man. Very did they put out like a mission statement or like a goal?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
It's like, hey, let's spend $17 million and tell people to wash each other's feet.
I mean,
Billy, wash my feet after I play basketball next time.
I'll do it if it means I can come to the
You will
dinner.
never touch. You will never touch my feet, dog. That was just a joke. I'm sorry. Get the fuck out of here.
Jesus told me to, though. I
I
watched
have
the
a,
Super
I have
Bowl
a
commercial.
question. I have a question. Did you see the picture of LeBron's foot recently?
That's an old photo.
Okay, either way. His foot was like crazy fucked up. Are your feet
Right.
like mangled?
Yeah, my feet are fucked up.
They'd have to be.
Yeah, athletes' feet. No pun intended. It has nothing to do with the fungus that grows, but the feet of athlete are horrible, dog. Like when you go to like in locker rooms and shit, like we all objectively have bad. Mine's gotten better over the years, though. You know what I'm saying? Mine ain't bad, but like so like the toe next to the big toe, that that nail is black and it just won't. I cut it. It's just it will stay black. I don't know. Maybe it's a fungus. I don't know what the fuck it is. Like I ain't dusty, but it's just like it's just bad. It's fucked up, man. And I still got like bruises and scrapes, and it's just I had 300-pound motherfucker stepping on it, and it's just not a good look, man.
Jeez.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not
I
a
would
good look.
imagine a running back in particular, your feet have got to be fucked.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And like so many, like, I used to cut on a dime, Big T. I put that, I put that motherfucking foot in the ground, Big T.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So much of those after time
15
just
years ago or so.
started looking like Flintstone feet. Was that a dick?
That wasn't.
Hey,
That was chill.
time comes for us all.
You're
Big
still a
T. One
young
day,
you're still a young man.
agreed, my brother.
Not as
But,
good as you
know,
once were, but you're as good once as you
no,
ever
I'm nowhere
were.
near as good as I was. Like, what do you mean? Matter of fact, I got faded the other night and watched some highlights. I've only done that like three
That
times
must
in my
be
life.
sick. That's got to
It
be.
was pretty dope.
That's
And
gotta
it's
be
not
cool.
that I searched for it. It popped up. Something popped up, some NFL thing popped up on my YouTube algorithm, which was weird because I never watched football. Um, and then and so and then I was like, let me check me out, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me check me out. No, somebody sent it to me. That's what it was. Somebody sent me on Twitter. That's what it was. That's what it was. Somebody said, man, I was just watching it. That's what it was. Somebody I was just watching Aaron Foster highlights, man. This is dope. And I just clicked it. I was like, let me peep. It is dope, man. I ain't gonna lie. Cause it seems like such a lifetime ago. And I put my entire life into that. You know what I mean? Like that was my life. But I'm so far removed from this feels like a whole nother human being that did that. And when you watch it, you know, a lot of stuff comes back. A lot of I was actually talking to one of my homegirls about this the other day about how like after the NFL, a lot of cats get depressed. And this is probably like all sports involved, right? Um, when you spend, and I was explaining to like, when you spend like, I told everybody I was going to be an NFL at 7 years old. So I started working towards this dream since I was 7 years old. And then all of a sudden it's over, right? 30 years old, I retired. And it's like, you have to, the best way to describe it is like, you have to mourn like a death almost. You have to mourn like the death of who you were going to be as a kid, right? Because that was a little kid's dream. So you have to mourn that death, and you have to mourn like your career because that was and it. I always try to make it not a part of my identity because I knew it was going to come to an end. So I tried to like find other interests and other hobbies because I knew it was going to end. But like it was still a very surreal moment when it ended. Me years to compartmentalize what actually happened. And it's a very real moment. But to answer your question, yeah, it's pretty dope looking at your highlights when you fade it.
That'd be pretty sick.
It's pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope. Probably went a little too deep there. My apologies, man.
Jason Isbell has a great lyric about that concept. about football: a boy's last dream and a man's first loss. But that's for people who usually stop playing in high school.
That's a that's a pretty dope way to put it. Boy's first dream, man's first loss. Yeah, that's dope. Did you ever feel that loss, Billy?
Yeah, but probably to a much different degree.
But I mean, yeah, but like, hey, man, loss is lost though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still had a dream, right?
I did have a dream. It got weird in college because it was more you almost it was getting taken from you and you almost started to hate it. But then I fell back in love with football uh very recently in Uganda. And talking about that,
Mm,
Thursday, if you're listening to
okay.
this tonight at 7 p.m., the first episode of Last Chance Uganda will be out. No football included in this one. It's just us getting to Uganda, stopping in Egypt, but definitely going to be a great episode. But getting back to it, yeah, I sort of sometimes get angry looking back at some of the football stuff.
Yeah, man.
Um, and then because I felt, I don't know, it's just, you know, going into playing a college sport, it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows and the dream that you thought it was going to be. You know, some weird thing that you probably could never predict might end up getting, thrown into it. Like
So,
some coach, some recruit, some transfer. Just
so
make
do you feel
sure.
like you got slighted in your football career?
No, I think I mean, everyone does. I think I should have gone to a place that really, really wanted me the most, as opposed to the place that I went thinking that I could compete for the spot.
Got you.
Just from like, I don't know. But
It's
anyway,
cool, man. We're being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying?
it gets me really worked up,
I
and I'm
understand,
not
brother.
rational about it. I'm not
I
rational about it.
I understand, my brother. I understand.
Like you get mad, like, everyone, coaches it's their livelihood and they're making decisions and, you're just young. The whole thing is,
I remember, bro. I remember being in college, bro. And so, like, I think that's what's changed from today's world than when I was like back when I was playing. The most was like the mental health aspect of everything, right? It's like we was in that room and I was like vulnerable for like one of the first times in my life. And like here I am competing with two dudes. One of them went to the NFL, one of them didn't, but he's very talented. But we're all competing for the same spot. And we're all like friends. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm trying to do him in. Like I'm trying to be the way better. Because if I don't outplay him, I don't like it kills my dream. You know what I'm saying? And so we sat in the running back room one time at the University of Tennessee, and I was sitting across from like who now I consider my brother, like Montario Hardesty, and he ended up going second round to the Cleveland Browns. But as a young kid, you're not really thinking, everybody can eat. You know what I'm saying? Let's just all support each other. Everybody can eat. At the time, I'm thinking, I don't want him to see the field because it's fucking up my money at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And having those conversations as a young kid are hard
and
because you don't really have the emotional
yeah,
capacity to deal with it.
dude, I mean, it's so weird. It's like, it's hard to like the mental health aspect. There's like sports psychologists in schools
Hmm.
nowadays, and there's
Yeah.
people who deal with, like, there's support groups for, and this is going to sound stupid, there's support groups for people who went to college and didn't end up playing their sport, like because something happened and how it like strips them of the identity that they had.
That's a
And
real thing.
and some people start working for a podcast randomly and it literally becomes part of the identity that's in your nomen, your title, kind of like your personality title. It's weird. It's crazy. There's so many juxtapositions and it sounds stupid. It sounds like it
Nah,
shouldn't matter for anything, but when it's literally your whole life and you don't know anything else, like it's hard to see uh the tree line from the forest. I don't know if that's the right saying. It's like it's hard to see outside.
the forest for the trees.
Yeah, the forest from the trees. Yeah.
But I don't think it is. And we get a little broy right here, but I don't care. Like because it's not like it's like Maddie said at the top of the thing, like dudes don't get their flowers till they die, right? That's a real thing, like because like in our society, like when I was growing up, especially, it was like you was soft if you talk about emotions. Like, yo, stop acting like a bitch, yo. Like we used to remember I said that to people. Like that's how that was my disposition. Like, are you acting like a bitch right now? And not like a female, but just like a like soft, right? Um, and what I've learned over the years, and I'm 37-year-old man, is man, that's like the toughest shit you could do is sit across from your partner and be like, dog, this shit hurts, dog. Like I'm hurting right now. And I don't feel good. I feel overwhelmed. I feel underappreciated. I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like it's those are real conversations that you should be having with your partners, with your people, with your father, that before I wouldn't even dream about having these conversations with my dudes. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like I tap in with my brothers. I make sure if I get off the phone with somebody, like one of my best friends, I tell them I love them. Like that was not a thing when I grew up. You know, so we'd be like, all right, peace, one. You know, that's how we got off. But now it's like, I love you, bro. I love you too, man. Because you never know. You never know, man. But anyway, that's vulnerability with Arian and Billy. We appreciate y'all entering
Love
this
you,
conversation.
bros out there.
Fellas, man, talk to your people, man. It's important. I love you, Big T.
Love you too, dog.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but I appreciate it,
Valentine's Day.
man. Yeah, that's that's facts. I'm feeling it. Um, yo, I don't know if y'all saw this, man. I put this on my story, but I got a new golf bag. Did y'all see that shit?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it's
Oh
looks
yeah.
sick. But
sick.
also, how many golf
didn't see
bags
it.
do you have?
I
True.
have three.
I was thinking it was more than
It's
that.
now I only got three. I got the Black Panther one. I got the Macrodosing one. I thought okay, I got four. Sunday Golf Company sent me one. And then I just got this one made. Oh, Maddie, you could post this if you want.
Ooh.
Send it.
I'll send it. Fuck, I'm such a boomer with this shit. I don't know how to send shit. Copy link. Okay. But for those people who haven't seen it, check out the macro socials. It's so I have I think I've said it many times on this podcast, but I have maybe 60 jerseys that I swapped with cats over the years. I have like Hall of Famer jerseys, right? Just chilling in my closet in a black trash bag, like three of them. And so, but I also have mine. I have my college jerseys and I have my pro jerseys and I have like my Pro Bowl jerseys. So I decided to do something with them because I'm not gonna hang them up on my wall. So the one I did was um my one of my college jerseys and one of my pro jerseys, and they took like the last names of the jerseys, which were my real game worn jerseys, and they made it into a golf bag. So fucking fire, dog. So if y'all
It is awesome.
get it, fire, dog. And what I like about this is like it's like leather, so like this could be like an heirloom. You know, so I can pass this down to my little ones if these little fuckers ever decide to play golf. I be trying to get them out on the course, man. They acting too good for it and shit. But it's fire. I'm really excited about this one, man. I can't wait.
I love their hats. Well, also because their name is Mackenzie, but they have
That's
hats and they're always sold out. And they have the cutest little like golfer like guy on them.
It's dope, man. Yeah, so
But
it's
it's a
Mackenzie
really
golf
cool
bags.
brand.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Mackenzie and Mackenzie golf bags, man. Yeah, I know the dude. I'll get you a hat, Mac.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I see if I can get you a hat, dog.
they're just, I'll buy one. They're just always sold out.
I got you. I know a guy. I know a guy. I know a guy. What else was on Billy's list?
Apparently, according to Brandon Marshall, Kanye got kicked out of the Super Bowl by Taylor Swift, or at least kicked out of
All
his
right.
seats.
Two things about what you said. You said according to Brandon Marshall.
The wide receiver.
I'm well aware of who my brother is. I'm just saying, like, he reported it, or he what's?
Well, there's two Brandon Marshalls. I didn't know if you knew the linebacker.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it was a linebacker.
no, it was the wide receiver.
Oh no, the linebacker's the one. He knelt with us. He was
Yeah,
the one that knelt with us. Well, go ahead. So it was the receiver.
yeah.
Okay.
So he apparently said that Kanye got seats in front of Taylor Swift with his new headdress that had his logo on it, with his wife, and purposely got the seat there so that when they flashed to Taylor Swift, he'd be able to get some screen time. But then Taylor
He's
pulled
My-
some strings. The funniest part was he referred to Taylor Swift as Katy Perry originally. And I get that because he just mixed up like the brunette and the blonde. And
Katy
then
Perry's the brunette.
Yeah, I think so, right? In the scope of pop culture.
Wait,
I
what?
wouldn't
Not
know.
anymore.
Not
Not
like
anymore, but was.
recently.
Taylor Swift is spanned 2 generations, but
Bro,
like,
you got Tay McRae out on the scene now. You can't. I mean, she's the
well, we
brunette
got
right
Lana
now.
Del Rey, my queen, who
Also, yeah, Lana Del Rey is more of the brunette than Katy Perry is right now.
I know, but
She looked great at the Super Bowl, by the way.
yeah, Taylor didn't let her in her box, and then she did, and then she got totally, the queen got totally
Cece Sabathia absolutely just
yeah.
ran over Lana.
Yeah. So then apparently Taylor pulled some strings and had Kanye booted from that seat and moved somewhere else, where he then was wandering around the stadium and went into Leonardo DiCaprio's box, who then ignored him. So uh don't know what's going on. Kanye's the #1 artist now, though, so beat out Taylor Swift with his new drop. So don't know if this is true. Could be true.
Well,
But
let's investigate.
reignites the Kanye Taylor beef.
Oh, man, it said Kanye Taylor beef. Kanye kicked out.
I want to know who Brandon Marshall's source is.
That's what I'm saying, cuz.
Yeah, that's so random.
I feel like he gets a lot of these stories. It's like, oh, it's so funny though. Kanye's new album. I haven't listened to it yet. Has anybody listened to it?
I listened to the first let's say 8 tracks. I was cleaning my house. I was doing chores.
Yeah, dude.
And I don't know, man. This could be just like an old man take, but I don't find much interest in you being interested as an artist in like moving the crowd. You know what I mean? Like I'm not interested in like club bangers or stadium rockers, right? I'm interested in like deep introspective art. Like that's just me. And so what I would like from a 45-year-old Kanye West is like, where are you at? Why do you feel the way you feel? How do you feel about, you know, obviously still loving Kim, right? Still loving a wife of yours that you have kids with, but struggling with the co-parenting dynamic, right? I would like one of the greatest artists of our generation is to talk about those struggles. Like, so like this is why Jay-Z is so dope to me. His 444 album to me is one of the best albums that there is from him, in my opinion, because that's what he's talking about. He's talking about his struggles as a married man. He's talking about his struggles as a father, struggles of infidelity, you know, struggles with, and growing into that, all of that stuff, right? Jay-Z's a writer. Kanye's an artist. I'm just not that interested in like you talking about how you slapping bitches in the ass while you fuck them. Like it's just low hanging fruit, bro. Like that was like 20-year-old me. I was there, dog. That's what we on tonight. Turn up pregame, whoop. But like now I'm like, I don't want to hear that from you, Kanye. Like I want what do you feel, doggy? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why it's also why like I'm not like a super fan of Drake, right? Same kind of vibes. Like he's still trying to make club bangers, which do your thing. It's you know what I'm saying? Like art is subjective and however you want to express yourself, my brother, express yourself. But for me personally, that's what I like. I like that deep introspective artist and art to feel like Kendrick. Kendrick tells me what he's going through, his personal experience. To me, that's the beauty of art. And so this kind of art is not really for me. And so, like I said, I've only listened to like 8 tracks, and it's giving a lot of that. But he's always gonna make fire beats. All his beats are fire. But
You try to sample Ozzy Osbourne, and Ozzy Osbourne was like, "No, please don't."
that's crazy.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. Well, you can tell that Ozzy Osbourne doesn't make his own decisions anymore.
That's probably true.
Yeah. So
That's
it was probably
for a
the
while,
safe.
honestly.
Yeah,
I remember that show. What was that show he was on? Was it the Osbournes?
yeah. I mean
Ooh, that
that.
man was struggling.
Who went into my fridge and stole my beers? Ozzy, it was you.
That's really fucked up when you think about it. This guy was.
That shit remind me of the daughter on The View, bro. When she was
Kelly?
like she was
Oh,
trying to
yep.
bang, she was trying to bang on, but ended up realizing she was just worse.
Yeah. Who's gonna
Like,
scrub the
Donald
toilet?
Trump, if you get rid of all the Mexicans, Donald Trump, who's going to clean your toilets?
Yeah.
Well,
She
no,
thought she had
what
she
I
thought she had a
meant,
In
mic.
the in the sense that
No, you know what I'm saying, guys,
I
right?
love the
Help me.
crowd in that clip when they're, oh.
That's it. What a lonely feeling, dog. I want to get away commercial if I ever seen one, bro. Holy shit.
That's
Holy.
literally sums up the View.
Uh-oh.
Actually,
Talk, Billy conservative?
no, but it's funny because
I
they
really
get
watched it. I couldn't tell.
it's from both sides. There was
Find
who
people
used to be on it?
both sides.
Matt Hasselbeck's wife, who's
Elizabeth
conservative.
Hasselbeck.
Yeah,
Matt Hasselbeck, the quarterback?
yeah. And
Is she
and
famous for something?
The
she's
View.
on View.
She was on The View.
Okay.
She was like their conservative voice on The View for a
I
while.
thought that
then
was
McCain.
Then it was Meghan
They've
McCain.
rotated.
Yeah, they go in and out.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
But they also make ridiculous takes. But we're probably people probably think the exact same thing about
That's
us.
also true.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
but
like
they won't call up and talk that shit.
to the
Had
View.
a whole what's the beef section for y'all shit. Nigga, stop tweeting at me. You can talk to us live. And they stop calling, but it's all good. Sorry.
Yeah, we're kind of like The View for dudes.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Like
So
if you
we're
kind of
less
think about
diverse.
it.
We're less diverse. We need a recurring.
Are we less
guest.
diverse?
Yeah, we need a recurring black guest.
Well, so who's on The View right now?
Let me look. It's Whoopi
I
Goldberg.
feel like we have a higher.
I think Raven Simone is.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. It's okay. Right now, it's
Is it?
Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar,
David Simone, a
Sunny
legend,
Hostin, Sarah Haynes. Wait, there's like 8,000 of them. Wait, what?
There's a
Oh,
lot.
so if there's 3 black women, then we don't. I was gonna say we have 25% black on this show. That's pretty solid.
25. No, we don't.
Well,
Yeah,
just
We're not
Math
counting
is
me and
Yeah.
horribly off.
not counting
Oh, you're
the
not
producers.
counting Mac and Maddie. Oh, I mean,
Yeah, talent only.
okay.
Because then
Is
it
it
goes down to
talented?
what 16%. That's not as good.
So
There you go.
It is
Whoopi
in
Gold-
line with the national demographics though, so even that's okay.
Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Sarah Haynes, Alyssa Farah Griffin, and Anna Navarro.
Anna Navarro sounds familiar.
I have more Native
politician.
I
American
think she
than
used to be
Elizabeth
on
Warren,
CNN.
so we can throw that in.
All right.
I went to a
I was about to say a
View.
racist ass joke.
I went to a View taping right before COVID, and the guest was Judge Judy, and she was there to endorse Jeb Bush for president for the 2020 election, which is just kind of like a flash in history.
That's crazy.
Jeb Bush, you want to talk about blew a 3-1 lead. Jeb Bush for years was like the presumptive this guy's got it and never even, wasn't even close.
That's like Mark Zuckerberg.
How do you
He
figure?
was working on it for years, and a flash in the pan just took him
Well,
out.
Mark Zuckerberg has been one of the most successful people in America in the last 100 years.
Jeb Bush has probably accumulated a lot of wealth through insider trading.
I went to
I thought about you did it. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say Jeb Bush in 2015 went on like an SEC tour of like he would show up on game days at SEC schools and do a little 5-minute stump speech. And I went to one and I was like, hell yeah, Jeb, ! Let's do this. And he never even got close.
How the hell did Jeb Bush make
You
$40
were at
million?
UT going to a Jeb Bush rally.
Well, so
That's
it
sad.
wasn't a rally. It was the day we played Georgia in 2015. Outstanding game. Came back from down 24-3. But that game probably saved Butch Jones's job for a little bit, so it might have been bad in the long run. Anyway, on Ped Walkway, which you know where that is, so between my dorm and the stadium, they were like, oh, Jeb Bush is going to be on that little podium right there in 20 minutes. I was like, fuck it, I'll stay. I'll see what Jeb's got to say. And I have a selfie with Jeb Bush somewhere. I think it's on my old phone. I need to go get it.
Gotta post it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it.
Jeb's
Yeah,
6'3". Why wasn't he hooping?
Because he's probably like you. Trash.
Facts.
I thought he was a Big T. It is a perfect, like, because you always call it like me and 50 liberals. It's a perfect summation of how there's a distinct difference between like a leftist and a liberal. Jon Stewart just got back on the Daily Show, and he caught fire from Democrats and the liberals, right? Because what he was saying, which is absolutely true, like I think like dunking on Donald Trump at this point is like it's low hanging fruit for people on the left. So what he started to talk about was how it's insane that these are candidates and they're both old as fuck and cognitively limited, right? And like that was his take. And anybody who has a working brain can see that, right? But the issue you have is with people with Trump, they're gonna ride with Trump. But these motherfuckers with Biden are doing the same thing, and they make excuse after excuse for this man.
Blue MAGA.
And that's all he's doing is pointing it out, right? And he does differentiate, and this is where he got into it with the liberals was he does make a distinct difference. Like, yo, the stakes are what they are. We understand that, right? There's a very big difference between voting left and voting right. But it's insane not to ignore these things. And that's what he was saying. That was his whole spiel. And he did it very funny. He did it. He's one of the more brilliant political commentators. And the liberal response was hilarious, dog. I'm talking about, I'm never watching him again. It sounded like Republicans was watching it, right? Like I'm never watching again. I used to love Jon Stewart, but now he's just descended into this both sides of the league. It's just the funniest thing in the world. But if you go under his post and read the liberal the liberal backlash, you'll see it. I hope you would start to see a difference between like somebody of the left and Democrats and liberals.
It might be one of those things where those people might not be real. It
Could
might
be.
be dead internet type stuff
No,
where
people were very mad.
I know, but
No,
some of it could have been manufactured.
There's one political commentator that I follow, Aaron Romp or something. I forget his name.
Oh, that guy's the worst.
He's a Democrat, right? So I mean, I follow all of the spectrum, just to get a feel for what everybody's saying, and like sometimes he says some okay stuff, and sometimes I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But he was one of the ones who were like, this is ridiculous. He's both sides in it, and yada yada yada, and like people underneath his comments was tearing his ass up. They was like, clearly you didn't watch, because clearly he's not both sides in it. He literally made that distinction, and he was responding to every single one. But I think people right now are like hanging tooth and nail on the fact that Biden is cognitively sharp. Like Kamala Harris came out and said, I watched him. Well, her mannerisms are wild, but she's like, I watched him in a meeting, conduct the meeting, lead these leaders. And I was like, shut up, man. We see him talk. He can't talk.
He's the first president in history to decline the cognitive exam on his physical.
Makes sense. He's not there. He's a fucking walking
Which
ghost,
is
man.
why I just still can't imagine that it's going to be him. I can't see it.
You said this for
I'm going to keep saying it till they're at the convention and they say it's Joe Biden.
That's insane.
It's
gonna be
insane
Michelle
that they're
Obama.
going to run him.
Why is that hard to believe?
Have you looked at him?
Well, yeah, but this is what they're dealing with the DNC here. This is what they do.
I guess, yeah. I guess we'll find out. But he is not okay.
Agreed.
And neither
Agreed.
did you see. Not that it's cognitive impairment, though I wouldn't rule it out. Did you see Kamala's quote the other day?
It's Kamala.
Okay, Kamala's quote the other day.
No, what was it?
I'm finding it. It went very viral. She said, I don't know the context of the whole conversation, but she said, do you think you fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you. And that became a very, it was just a classic, one of her like weird word salad things. And it became a pretty popular meme.
Wait. What's wrong with that?
I mean, you can kind of discern what she's saying, but it's a very odd sentence.
Say it again.
Do you think you fell out of a coconut tree? And then she like laughs for a really long time to awkward silence. And then she says, You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
I think you're reaching right here. What's wrong with that statement?
Well, one, it doesn't really mean anything, but you just got to go watch the
Absolutely.
clip and you'll see
Wait,
that.
time out. It does mean something. She's saying like you're like an accumulation of everything that has to come before you in your environment now.
Okay, but that's just like saying there's
poignant.
air. Like that's an obvious. That doesn't mean anything.
I disagree.
If you watch the clip, you'll see it. But anyway,
I'm watch the clip. But I think a lot of the things that she says, you know, people just attack just because. Where I think there's fair criticism, I will give it to you, but I don't think that's one. That's a fair quote. I mean, it's not. She's not, Plato, but
she says weird shit though.
I don't disagree.
And love putting people in jail for drugs. People forget about that.
No, they don't. I was fucking on the front lines of not voting for her.
And called Joe Biden racist.
I convinced my mom, Joe Biden is racist, but I convinced my mom not to vote for her.
Well, regardless of whether you think Joe Biden's racist or not, to be his vice president and then claim he's the most cognitively impressive president of all time is.
She said most impressive of all time.
No, but they're all going to bat, being like, this guy's the greatest. He's unbelievable.
Nah, she bugging. I mean, what's the breaking news, Billy?
Breaking news: Russia might have nukes in space.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying. That's just a rumor.
This is on your Russian Google alert.
No, yeah. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Turner's statement. Yeah. So apparently there is a serious national security threat, and we don't know if this is rumored. It might just be hypersonic missiles, but they're trying to get Biden to classify what the threat is. I think it's more in relation to the massive $95 billion foreign aid package that got passed, which is ridiculous that we're not putting that into our own country. Yeah. So space nukes, hopefully it may have been in your 2024 bingo, but that's just the rumor. And now we need to fund the Space Force. So interesting.
Oh, I'm so tired of humans not keeping human shit on Earth. That bullshit here, man. Go to space with that bullshit, man. Well, shout out to Russia, man, for making space nukes. Now we got some more shit to worry about. Can't wait. Let's do it. Let's fuck up everything. Let's blow this bitch up.
Jeez. Arian, what were your thoughts on Travis Kelce arguing with Andy Reid? A player's perspective.
I'm unsure what Andy thought about it, but that type shit, I love that type shit. Like when you in the heat of the moment, like it's passion, bro. You in the Super Bowl. This is a once in a lifetime. Well, not for them, but it's the biggest stage in which your craft is on, it can be on. This passion's flying, egos flying. These are men who think that they could do great things. And every now and then, like, what the fuck are we thinking? Yeah, I love that shit. It's passion. I liked it.
Even if Andy Reid had taken him out of the game,
that'd have been silly on his part.
He did, and then Pacheco fumbled. That was post fumble.
But I mean, that could have been a formation thing. Is there any evidence that says he took him out because he yelled at me? I doubt that's the case. Andy Reid is like
no, he was
probably one of the better offensive minds that have ever coached. Matter of fact, is he the greatest offensive coordinator of all time? I think he is.
Well, honestly, Kyle Shanahan is a better offensive coach than Andy Reid is. He just can't coach his way out of a wet paper bag to hold a lead in the Super Bowl.
No. I disagree with that.
Every offense he has is fucking incredible.
So is Andy Reid's.
Andy Reid has Patrick Mahomes.
Do you not remember Andy Reid's resume, fam?
He had Donovan McNabb and fucking T.O., and he had incredible players.
Mike Vick, yeah, he had great players, but like he has great offenses.
Yeah, no, I'm not discounting that.
But I think so. This is the one thing I think people get misconstrued, and it's why Brock Purdy gets a lot of like praise and why he gets a lot of hate. Is because that offense that Kyle Shanahan run, that was the offense I thrived in, right? So I know it very well. So that offense is predicated off the play action, right? So that offense doesn't go without a good running back. When you have a good running back, your quarterback will eat, period, right? So Kyle Shanahan has always had good offenses, but I think I guess that's with any offense, man. It's predicated off of the players you have, but I think Andy, like that offense, and maybe it's because I played in it and I know it so well, it's very one-dimensional. It's there's not a lot of dynamic play calling. It's play action, play action. I'm sorry. Inside zone, outside zone, play action, same over route, same crossing route, same like it's very bland, but it's hard to stop. Andy Reid to me is way more creative with his play calling. Like way more creative. You would disagree with that?
That could be. I'm not watching film on him. I think in 20 years, Kyle Shanahan will be at that level or past it in terms of like the numbers that his teams have put up. If you flip those coaching staffs, like the Chiefs win easier than they did.
But again, I don't think so.
Well,
because
let me retract that because Kyle Shanahan can't coach in big games. If you flip the schemes and like everything else about Kyle Shanahan as a coach without having him be the coach, I don't know how to say that to make sense. They win easily.
I'd argue that the Chiefs don't have the same personnel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Andy Reid would never end up with that personnel because that doesn't fit his offense.
Right.
And like they don't like if you look at Kyle Shanahan, Mike Shanahan, Gary Kubiak offenses, it's not predicated on having a killer quarterback. It's just not. Now they've had killer quarterbacks in those roles, like John Elway, right, at the end of his career. But that offense, again, wasn't predicated off of John Elway. It was predicated off of Terrell Davis. And that's how they won in those games. That's why Terrell Davis played so small amount, but it was because he thrived in the playoffs. He had killer games in the playoffs, right? But like those offenses, it's not a prerequisite to have the greatest quarterback in it, right? Andy Reid's offense, you need a really good quarterback in order to be good. Not so much in a Shanahan offense.
When he did have Matt Ryan, though, that offense was so fucking crazy. I'm so mad they didn't win that Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's wild, man.
Dude,
they were unstoppable.
There's a lot of Sperry Rares I've seen in the Barstool comments. Well, it's really the PMT comments because Big Cat PFT is like, yo, Patrick Mahomes on the pace to like be the greatest ever. And the Sperry Rares do not like that.
I don't think that's like questionable.
Well, the Sperry wearers are the New England and Sperry wearers. I think Sperry's are from New England.
Well, there's just a Venn diagram, right? There's a Venn diagram. There's Sperry wearers and then there's New England fans.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're in the middle.
Yeah, so they're just defending TB.
Yeah, it's like Tom Brady can do no wrong.
But something I saw, Patrick Mahomes. So there's been, I'm going to get the statistic wrong, so let me find it out, but let me give you a vague description of what it is. There's been 7 instances in the playoffs where a quarterback has converted a drive in the fourth quarter down by 7 or less and ended up winning in the postseason in either overtime or the fourth quarter. Of those 7 times, 3 were Tom Brady and 4 were Patrick Mahomes.
I think I saw that. I think you're getting that
Yeah,
wrong.
let me find the exact one because that might be wrong. I'm trying to find it. But
yeah, I think it was more impressive than that.
It was more impressive. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. I think. Oh no. It was Brady was 3 for 7. Mahomes was 4 for 4 in those positions, and Drew Brees was like 2 for 3,
something like that. Yeah. But like, so I remember at the very beginning of the year, I saw the Chiefs play like twice, and I was like, I'll be surprised if they make it past the first round. I remember saying that just because, well, one, they were missing Chris Jones, so their defense was horrible. And he came in and changed a lot. But again, they didn't have no really go-to receiver like that the entire year, dog. The whole narrative behind that receiving core was they can't catch. When the narrative of your receiving core is you can't catch and you win the Super Bowl, that's insane from a passing
They're
offense.
so good that they're the football equivalent of a, like, you can't do this in football, yet they've somehow done it. You can do it in basketball or baseball where a team's kind of plodding through the regular season. They're like 3 games over 500 halfway through, and you're like, it doesn't matter. Like the Warriors a few years ago when they
Yeah.
won the title. They weren't good the whole year, and it was like, just get them to the playoffs, and they turn it on. You can do that in basketball and baseball to an extent. Football, you can't do that. It's a completely different, like, year to year, the teams are so different. It's a completely different regular season, and they've somehow done that. Like, it doesn't matter. They get to the playoffs. I think I saw DVOA, which is a stat that analytic people love to use. I don't completely understand it, but they swear by it. By that metric, this was the hardest playoff path a team has ever had, and they won the Super Bowl.
It's
Whoa.
it's insane.
I mean, yeah, because they went Bills.
Well, they played Dolphins, at Bills, at Ravens, 49ers.
Oh my God.
Holy shit, yeah.
Holy shit. Here's the stat.
And the Ravens were the number 1 seed with the MVP quarterback. That shit is wild, dog.
This is the stat. It's even crazier. We butchered the hell out of it. Or I did. Neil Payne from Neil's Substack. Since 2001, there has been 125 drives in the NFL postseason where it was at least the fourth quarter. There was under a minute left to play, and the team on offense trailed by 7 points or fewer at the start. These are your standard clutch moments for a football team, the do or die drives that win and lose critical games. Out of those 125 drives since 2001, only 40% of them saw the team on offense pull off the magic trick and get the points they needed. Some quarterbacks are pretty good at it, such as Tom Brady, who went 5 for 11, or Drew Brees, who went 3 for 6. Only Patrick Mahomes, though, is 7 for 7 or perfect in those dire situations. That's insane, dude.
That's crazy as fuck, actually.
Engineering a 2-minute drill or a 1-minute drill is insane.
That's wild.
I've only done it once in my personal career.
Yeah,
and it's stressful as fuck.
Bring yourself into
One of
it,
those,
Billy.
they had, 13 seconds against the Bills a couple years ago?
Yeah.
I remember y'all telling me I was crazy when y'all asked me like who the greatest quarterback in my eyes was. It was Aaron Rodgers, and because of his talent level, right? And like everybody got off, I feel you, right? But Patrick Mahomes is, I would be, if I wake up out of a coma in 10 years and he's not the greatest quarterback to ever live, something happened. Like,
I agree.
He got a disease, something happened. Like, I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? But he's on path. What is it like? He's been in the league 6 years and he's been in the AFC Championship every time. That shit's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that sounds right. 7, I think.
7?
But 6 years as a starter.
Starter.
Oh, he's been in the league 8. He's at 7 as a starter.
7 as a starter. That's just not normal, dog. Like,
that time sitting.
Wait, no, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It's 6 and 7.
6 and 7. So he didn't start his rookie year.
No, it was Alex Smith.
That's right.
And he was balling out on the scout team.
Oh, I can relate.
You want a good trivia question?
Yeah.
Alex Smith was the number 1 overall pick in the NFL in 2005.
Yes.
In another sport from the same school, the number 1 overall pick also went to that school. What school was it, and who was the player?
It had to be. Can I answer?
Utah. It was Utah.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Utah.
It had to be baseball.
It might not.
Because I don't remember
anybody come out in basketball. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Same year?
Are you
The same year. Yeah, it wasn't basketball.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
You are?
This is how he got me.
I wouldn't be positive.
This is how I ended up in a Biden hat, him doing these tricks.
Utah basketball. Yeah.
Was it lacrosse? No.
Well, what is it?
It's basketball.
Who was it?
You don't know Utah 2005?
Was it was it the point guard?
No.
Number 24?
No.
No?
Big guy.
Oh fuck, I don't know.
Andrew Bogut.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have got that shit right. I wouldn't have got that
Both the
shit right
number
at
one
all.
overall pick in 2005.
Back the best player from Utah I remember growing up. You probably don't remember this name, Keith Van Horn. You remember
Oh,
Keith
yeah,
Van
yeah, yeah.
Horn? High Shocks. He was a killer, man.
I couldn't have told you he went to Utah, but I know who that is.
Yeah, yeah, he went to Utah. Yeah, man, that's a throwback. We used to watch him because like back then New Mexico was good. The Lobos, the college basketball team, and they used to like rival with Utah. It's all right. It's fun, man.
I think New Mexico is good this year.
Are they?
I think. Or maybe it was
That'd be fun to
last
go to a
year.
little Lobo game, man. It'd be fun going to a Lobo game. It's been a while since I've been to any basketball
Yeah,
game at all.
they're
Actually.
20-5.
What's the ranking?
They're not ranked because their conference is kind of weak, but they should
They
be
still the
in the
Mountain West?
tournament. Yeah, Mountain West.
Damn.
Mountain West is actually solid. It's just not like a power conference.
Right. Right.
And now they don't have BYU anymore either.
Well, shout out to the Lobos, man.
What is going to end up with this conference realignment?
In 10 to 15 years, it's going to be 2 conferences or 1 it's going to be the NFL, which sucks, but that's what it's going to be.
The NCAA is going to disappear. It's going to become a farm league of like blue blood schools, and D3 football will no longer exist.
That's probably something better than that. Yeah.
And I won't have an alumni game to go to.
Oh, shucks. Let's not pay players so Billy can't go back once a year and strut his stuff.
Arian, you don't think that assuming, because this is going to happen, once the players become employees of the schools and they're in employee-employer contracts getting TV revenue, and they're no longer part of the NCAA, it's going to start out, you're still going to have the SEC and Big Ten, and I feel like after that, they might merge into one thing, or even if they remain separate entities, it'll just be those like 32 or so teams, and that's really it.
Bro, more importantly, if actually not more importantly.
So that's just the NFL at that point.
Well, no, I think the difference being, it will still be a liaison to the NFL, right? So I don't think it'll overshadow it. I still think it will be the goal to get to the NFL.
Yeah. No, I'm saying in terms of structure, it will just be a lesser version of the NFL, which is great for TV networks. But like, I don't want college football to be like the NFL. I don't love the NFL. I want college football.
Okay, so what aspect of the merger or the little NFL would you not want?
So it's already starting next year. Like it's USC in a conference with Ohio State. The reason all this is happening is so that a casual sports fan who doesn't watch college football all the time, but if they scroll on the TV and they see, oh, Michigan is playing USC, I'll watch that for 30 minutes. Now those ratings are monster. USC in no world should be in a conference with Michigan and Ohio State. College football is a regional sport with like intricacies and rivalries that
why though? Why?
Because USC playing Ohio State, those schools don't dislike each other. There's no it's a made for TV thing. Like it's not.
That's supposed to be special during bowl season.
College football is a made for TV.
I understand, literally. But in the past, it's been
so you're
built
arguing
on
from
regional
a sense of like nostalgia.
Yeah, like college football is built on regional rivalries and playing teams that you know very well, that you go to school and work with people who went to those schools. Like, and now it's going to be the NFL, which if you're an executive at Fox and ESPN is incredible. If you're someone who really likes watching, like Alabama, Ole Miss, like that game's not going to exist anymore. I mean, it will, but it's not the same thing.
It's going to destroy the SEC alumni network.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you're just arguing like from a sense of like, you know, things aren't how they used to be. You know what
It
I'm
is, but
saying?
it's more than that. If there was a reason for this that would be, we believe this is going to make college football better, then fine. But it's not for that. It's to make TV better, which I don't care about. So that does me no good. That does no fans any good.
Define because when you say if this was to make college football better, what does that mean? How does college football exist outside of the TV contracts that is a part of now? Out of that realm of like capitalistic revenue garnering
I'm
entity
talking
that
in
it is.
terms of the game. If there was like, I personally disagree with this, but a lot of people believe that expanding the playoff to 12 teams makes the game more fun and interesting. Now, that also lines the pockets of the same TV people, but if you believe that's making the game better, then fine. The whole conference realignment thing doesn't do anything for anybody except the schools who are getting paid a shit ton of money and the TV companies that are getting paid a shit ton of money. And eventually, once these conferences and schools break away from the NCAA entirely, it's going to create the thing that's going to replace it is going to be indistinguishable from the NFL in everything except the names of the teams.
But
And
you're saying you don't like the NFL because
I don't like
there's
the
no
NFL because there is no the emotional stake tied to it is inconsequential compared to college football in my experience.
Okay, so like college football today, you feel like there's still as much of an emotional stake tied to it?
Yes.
In what sense?
Like if
Because
you live in
there's a portal now, right? So like it's not necessarily
that has changed it a little, but it's still the same schools. Like if you live in the state of Alabama and you are an Alabama fan and Alabama loses to Auburn, your next year is horrible. You go to work with Auburn fans who will tease you relentlessly. Like it's a unique thing that does, like when the Giants lose to the Cowboys, first of all, you play them twice. Secondly, it doesn't really matter.
See, I would disagree because how about this? When the Cowboys lost in the
playoffs is different.
But that's what I'm saying. I think you're losing the big picture, right? I think I understand what you're saying, but I think you're not taking into account that the reason why there are rivalries is because it's had a history, right? And that history had to do with dope ass games in big ass moments with big ass players, right? To me, this is just going to breed more rivalries. A USC versus Ohio State or a Michigan every year gives an opportunity to breed a rivalry. That to me is dope. So like when the Colts leave Baltimore and go to Indianapolis, but then Baltimore gets realigned, and now they develop a new rivalry with Pittsburgh, right? Because of it's like that tough northwest, northeast football. Now Pittsburgh and Baltimore is like a rivalry. It's a bit like no matter what happens, we gonna eat. And so it's like a USC, a Miami versus Texas could be a thing, so you never know.
Okay,
and
but
so
you've played in both.
Yeah.
There's no way that an NFL rivalry game, quote unquote, and Tennessee, Alabama, they're just not the same thing.
See, I played in Tennessee, Alabama, and you may not like to hear this, and this was my experience. I never felt that this is Alabama week. I never felt that.
Okay, Tennessee,
so
Florida. Pick whatever game you want.
Okay, Tennessee and Florida was probably a bigger to us, but it was not necessarily because it's Florida. It's because they nice. We want to get on their heels. And so I never really was into the this is my school thing until like when you leave, then you understand what the big games are and stuff like that. But like while you plan, to me, it was never really like we got to get up because this is them. You know what I mean?
Okay, but like tell me this.
You feel it though. Don't get me wrong. You feel it like within the crowd and like the hype. Like you understand.
So that's what I'm talking. Like Tennessee, Florida, 04. How many NFL games did you play in that were like that? Like that level of intensity.
none.
That's what I'm saying,
None.
though. And those are like that because it's a.
But that's also because there's 107,000 people in the stands. There are no stadiums that hold that many people in the NFL.
But there's a
But
reason for that. It's because people care so deeply about college football. There's a demand for that.
Don't disagree. But I don't think that will go anywhere. I think it's just going to enhance it because imagine to your analogy, USC plays Ohio State, right? And it turns into a 4 overtime game.
It'll be awesome. But
that's what I'm saying. Then it's a rivalry now. Now it's like,
but it's just not. It's not the college football is a sport more than any other built on geographic proximity and familiarity.
I disagree. This is why I disagree because a rivalry is USC versus UCLA, right? But nobody really gives a shit about that game. It's just they're right next to each other, right? A bigger rivalry for USC is Notre Dame, which is what in Indiana.
That's think of all the rivalries in college football. Most of them,
that's top 10.
Yeah, no, it is. It is, and that's the exception, not the rule.
But that's what I'm saying. It's to me, it's the exception because it has given a chance to become part of history in college football. What you're saying is rivalries are proximal, therefore it's going to lose its fervor because you're expanding it. And I'm saying those rivalries aren't going to go anywhere because the teams are still there and the fan base is still there. I'm saying you're going to have an opportunity to play other people and other rivalries can spur.
But first of all, I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure when USC goes to the big house, that'll be awesome and a shit ton of people will watch.
That's what I'm saying. I'll watch
but in 10 years, when that will be far more prevalent than so a game like Tennessee, Kentucky, which nationally, for the most part, doesn't really do a ton for people. In Tennessee and Kentucky, it's a massive game. That game is going away starting in a year or two to make room for Texas and Oklahoma to have.
This is where I disagree with you, Big T, because they'll get rid of less non-rivalry conference games.
No, wrong. In the SEC, they're going to
non-conference games too. I don't want to see Tennessee play Middle Tennessee State.
I agree with that.
I don't want to see USC play, Fresno Southern Tech Institute. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see every game, every week, you playing a dog, you playing a powerhouse. That's what my turn off of college. My turn off of college football might be but it's the reason why I like the NFL over college because every week these are the best athletes going at it. Whereas in college,
that's not what I care about.
You don't care about the best athletes.
Like people who are like, I love watching the NBA because I love to see how great Steph Curry can shoot. That's awesome and it's cool. I don't have an emotional attachment to that. I would much rather watch Tennessee win a 49-46 basketball game that may be horrific to watch, but I care.
That's interesting. So you don't necessarily like the sport.
I do, and I appreciate.
Not really.
No, I do, and
because what you're saying is
when I watch an NBA game, I watched Suns Kings last night, and down the stretch, nobody missed a shot for 4 minutes, which was great because I had the over. But it was also it was really impressive. DK partner. It was really impressive, watching Kevin Durant hit a fall-away jumper with 2 guys on him. I understand why people enjoy watching that, but that doesn't, I don't tune in being I want to watch how good LeBron can be tonight.
So you're not necessarily a purist of the sport. You're more emotionally attached to your team.
Correct.
And I guess that's where we differ. I'm more of a purist in the sense I want to see the best ball being played, which is why I was never super against LIV, right? I'm not necessarily against it because 1, it creates more diversity in the sport, but 2, when they do all come together, it's a bigger thing now. Now it's LIV versus PGA at the Masters, and that gives guys a little extra oomph to say, let's get this stuff. You know what I mean? And to me, that's the thing. So I think it'll cut down on what I said earlier, the Polytech Institute versus, Texas. I would rather see Texas versus Oklahoma. I'd rather see Oklahoma versus Missouri, Missouri versus Miami, whatever the case may be, in games that not necessarily you wouldn't really see that much. But now you get a pool of like, I don't know, 50, 60 schools that are like up here rather than,
I
if
think it's going to
those
be even fewer than that, but yeah, I get what you're
how much
saying.
how much would it be? It would be like
I think in the not too distant future, it's going to be 40-ish.
which I don't mind. You paying the players now. Now to me that's what it'll get for. I will be an avid college football watcher if it gets to that point where we paying the players, we giving them health benefits, and now I get to watch you play a full schedule for real. USC versus Notre Dame, USC versus Miami, USC versus Tennessee, USC. But what? That's now we talking.
Realistically, there is going to be a conundrum with making the players employees.
What?
What's that?
As an employee of the school, you can't have relations with other employees or students.
What?
No, because those students aren't employees of the school.
Right, but technically school employees can't have relations with students. So
I
Your
don't.
mind goes
schools
to
open.
I don't even
we
think
can't
that's
pay players
true.
because
First of all,
players are fucking students. What? Fucking
I was
Billy.
just thinking about that. That is a conundrum. It opens up the school
It's
to
really not.
to being sued.
that's like a
It's,
very
it's not.
what you're describing is a very common trope, like professors having sex with students. Like
It's technically against their contracts, though.
I can't speak to
I
that. I've
I,
never read one, but I don't know that that's accurate.
I
I think
doubt that they are going to put in player contracts you
Yeah.
cannot have
Also, I
sexual
mean,
relations with any student at the
it's
university. That's
against the
insane.
moral uh like code of their employees. I'm pretty sure.
I am
No,
certain they will figure something out.
there's not like this
I'm not saying we
federal,
should
but
pay
there's not
them.
like a federal standard for workplace ethics.
Yeah, well, you have to report to HR if you're.
Is that a fed? I don't. It's not a federal standard though. It's just a case by case thing, is it not? I bet.
I don't know, but it proposes a
Right up.
funny like once they're. I was thinking about like once
You
the
was thinking about
athletes are
this.
students. I
They
mean,
ain't gonna be
once
able to fuck. They ain't gonna be able to fuck hoes, man.
like think about it. It's funny to think about like since they're employees, they have to like abide by I don't know like employee handbooks and stuff. Technically, right?
But you know
Uh,
what? Yeah, Billy.
It was off topic. It was just funny to think about.
Well, I love that for you, man.
Um,
I'm talking about real quick. Did y'all see this is also on your list, but I saw this absent of your list. There's a cop that emptied his clip into his
oh,
squad
dude.
car. That shit is very sad, but it's fucking hilarious, yo. Luckily,
yeah,
the dude didn't die. So for those that didn't see this, there was a cop that had I guess a suspect in handcuffs who you search. Obviously, you search before you put uh, somebody in handcuffs. Searched him, put him in a squad car, in handcuffs. He's walking by the car. He hears an acorn drop, screams out, shots fired, rolls on the ground like a fucking G.I. Joe fam, pulls out his gun and empties a whole clip at the car with the dude in there with his in handcuffs. Squad partner comes on the other side. What's going on? He's like, shots fired from in the vehicle. She starts dumping in the same car.
Well, the
And the police go ahead, go ahead.
craziest part of the video is he yells, "I'm hit."
yeah.
Like there was nobody fired a gun and he said he got shot.
Yeah, man.
I feel like you'd know. Even if you got hit in the vest, you would know.
In the heat of the moment, I'll give him that. Maybe you could have thought but I don't know, man.
That's PTSD. Like,
I don't know what buddy got going on, but
what if he accidentally got hot? Like, people are saying that he might have gotten dosed with like LSD liquid or something and started freaking out. But I think we're just looking at a really sad, like effect of PTSD. And he heard something and just had a Like, I
Hey,
don't know.
shitty
Thank God the
fucking
guy
cop.
survived.
Shitty fucking cop.
It
This is
looks like a bad like sketch. It like seems like a
yeah.
bad.
It's like some funny shit. And like under the tweet that I seen, it which had like thousands and thousands of replies, right? Or and interactions. There was people, a whole bunch of people like squirrels with acorns underneath saying, I hope you hope the acorns arrest the acorns. Shit like that. What was going on? But that's just crazy. But the bad part was they conducted a police investigation. They found him having no wrongdoing. Like, dog, if there's no wrongdoing in dumping the clip after you hearing an acorn hit the ground, like there is no such thing as wrongdoing for police, which is insane, yo.
I
You-
mean, he needs to be off the force and given. Honestly, like he shouldn't be a cop again, but he should be put on disability, like medical pension, because the job has made him crack. No pun intended.
We don't know that, man. He could just be a bad cop, bro.
Yeah,
Either way,
I'll
he
give you
don't need
this
a
one.
heavy gun.
That's an L for cops. It's a bad video for cops.
He's a fucking he did not need to be a cop no more. He man does not need to have a gun. That's for sure. This is what I want because when we go to the RNC, this is why I want to ask like Republicans this. Because like you'll hear a lot of Republicans, not necessarily Republicans, you hear a lot of Trump stands, right? A lot of Trump stands would be like, we need to disband the DOJ, disband the FBI, disband the CIA, right? All these government, federal uh authorities. But then when you ask them like, do we need to defund the police? They'll be like, hell no. And I just want to know like why are you picking and choosing which because like we almost there. I'm right there with you. Let's do it. Let's do it. Keep going. Let's go to the police now. No, fuck that shit.
Well, I'm not saying I agree with any of those sentiments, but I'll tell you what someone who did would say.
All right, what would they say?
Particularly the FBI. The FBI is largely used now as a pseudo-political organization in terms of who it prosecutes and what it goes after.
Now's doing a lot of heavy lifting in there.
Well, if you want to say always, then that's fine too.
Yeah, they always have.
Yeah, okay. So I think that is different than local police departments that are going after like real crime.
But the FBI goes after real crime as well.
Sure.
There's just a branch of them that do some silly ass shit, just like there's a branch of the police that do some silly ass shit.
Okay, I'm just telling you what someone who maybe held similar views to that would say.
Gotcha.
There's also the element that cops are part of the community and they're from the community, which isn't necessarily true all the time.
That's one of the tenets of defund the police was like the people that police are not from that area. That's literally one of the tenets.
I 100% agree that police officers should only be from the community that they're policing. And the people who support police usually have that, where the officers are from their own community. So
that should be the case, yeah. Because and also defund the police gets it bad. It's horribly branded. It doesn't mean like get rid of police officers. It means allocate resources in different areas with more highly qualified people. So like, if you have a flat tire on the side of the road, that's a police officer. If you get pulled over on a traffic stop because you didn't turn on your signal, that's a police officer. If you get a domestic house call, that's a police officer. If you get a mental health call where somebody's having like a manic episode, that's a police officer. So a police officer is entirely unequipped to handle all these separate things with the little amount of training that they have. So what defund originally meant was let's allocate mental health professionals for mental health issues. Let's advocate traffic stuff for traffic officials, like and allocate it in that sense. So that's what that originally meant. But of course, it got turned into we don't want any police. Now, granted, you'll find people that'll be like we don't want any police, but you can't deal with fringe when you're talking about like policy discussions. But anywho, y'all want to get into the bubonic plague?
What a segue.
Not my best,
You
man.
do the best. I've always said that. Best segues, Arian Foster.
We got 2 hours already.
That's facts, man.
do.
Damn, really? Look at
Yeah,
that.
we could
Yeah.
save the plague for Plague FT.
I think you can do the
I mean,
play.
yeah, we usually
It's-
have a topic in these episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily. Sometimes we don't.
The topic could have been conference realignment and evolution of college football. Well, I just found out employees are not allowed to have relations with students according to at least the Michigan University employee handbook, which is given to everybody.
University of Michigan.
Okay, but they cannot, to explore that thought, they cannot make that a rule for students. That's like saying, because they could easily extend that to students. Students can have sex with students.
Well,
Obviously, they know people are going to fuck in college. Literally,
Student
that is it.
athlete. Student comes first.
But then again, if they're employees, they're no longer student athletes.
right.
I would
Exactly.
actually like to know if and when that happens, do they still have to go to school? I feel like, yeah, but like it seems like maybe not.
This is why I say, dog, you should be able to have a major in your sport. I know when y'all posted that, I did read some of those comments, and they were all fucking stupid. So people were like, "You can do that. You can major in sports. You literally can. You can major in sports science. You can major in blah blah." No, you can't major in football. There's no football major. There's no basketball major. That's my point. It should be that way. No, I should not have to go to school if I don't want to. But if you have other requirements, whatever the case may be, sure. But you should be able to major in your sport, bro. Why
Dude,
not?
It would be pretty cool if there's a stopping the run 101.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, why are we pretending like this is not a big business?
Yeah.
Why pretend it's not a science? It's not a science, but it's a studyable field. It's a field of expertise that is $1 billion business. Like, it makes no sense to me.
I have an argument.
Shoot.
I think too many dudes would major in football and not many dudes would like do other essential services.
That's a
in
choice
society
you're
because
free
they'd
to
all
make.
be majoring in football.
Plenty of
100%.
dudes
If you
major in shit that is pointless and worthless now.
I know, but a lot of the guys who
But you have to pay to go to school. So if you want to pay however much, $40,000, $50,000, whatever it costs now, I don't have no idea. But however long, if you want to pay that much money to major in a sport, do your thing.
You can major in far more pointless shit than that now.
Agreed. Oh, my Etsy thing came. I can't wait to. It's at the front.
You really want us to ask you what it is, don't you?
No.
What is it?
You kind of just pulled a Billy right there.
No, I wasn't.
You-
I literally just got the email, B.
You really want us to ask what it is?
what is it?
No, you want to ask.
No,
what
I
it is.
don't.
You gonna put
You
it on
want me
I was
to
just.
ask.
I was outwardly expressing my.
Yeah, but like we
excitement.
didn't need to know that. Like you could have.
But you wanted to.
No, I don't. You want me to
Ah,
want to.
I caught you a
You
little
want
game, and now
me.
you trying to. That's gaslighting.
No, no, I will not be
They trying to
gaslit.
make it seem like I said it out loud so that you asked me. Like I need that. I was just like, oh shit, my shit came. It was just I was excited.
I'm glad you're excited.
You want to know what it is?
I
Big
do
T?
not. You want me to know,
Nah. don't
and then
mind.
you're gonna tell me and say that I wanted to know. I'm telling you, I don't want to know.
I want to
I'm
know.
not gonna.
No, you
I'll
don't.
tell you if you want.
No, you don't. He's fishing.
That's the crazy thing. I was fishing. I was really just chilling, man. But it did come.
Pause.
It's an inanimate object, so if it comes, and it doesn't have any.
I'm glad. I hope it's great.
Oh wait, can I
It's gonna be
ask
amazing.
if we're talking football?
Yeah, why did you
Mackenzie?
ask me that?
Yeah. Okay. So Mackenzie and I yesterday, I texted Arian in our group chat asking if NFL players get a check biweekly like everyone else in America does, and Arian was like, "Yes, obviously." Mackenzie and I were looking up Travis Kelce's contract. Not important why. And we were out
Because you want to see what he can contribute to the household and see if he can,
yeah,
know,
kinda.
he
Well,
needs
we-
to buy the groceries.
We were just kind of
no, because
he needs to pay the light bill.
he bought the
Super Bowl
suite for like all of them.
We were basically
That's actually
just
insane because those were like
Crazy.
$1 million.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We were basically just saying like, wow, Travis Kelce's really like rich. Anyways,
he should not have had to buy that.
right? But anyways, we were on some website.
No, I'm saying she should have bought it.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't even know if she knew she could make it. But we were on some website that was breaking down contracts, like NFL contracts, like we were on Travis Kelce's. How in the hell and shit does a NFL contract work? Because, okay.
Were y'all looking at like cap hit and all sorts of stuff?
Yes, yes. I'm on spottrack.com. Do you know what that website is? Okay. Yeah. Why did in 2020 he got paid $8.5 million, Travis Kelce, but then in 2022 he got paid $2.8 million, but then he got $2.7 million for just being on the roster.
It's all about moving money around and allocating it in ways that you can have it on your books differently.
Like,
So there's a cap in the NFL, right? And so what they'll do is, and also they do it strategically for like, depending on your position, right? So for a running back, for instance, for me, they'll backload. If you get a big contract as a running back, they'll backload it, right? Meaning they'll say, because they divvy it up, right? They allocate it differently in different years. So like I signed for like 40.5 million, and
congrats.
a lot of it, thank you. A lot of it was backloaded, right? I only ended up getting like 37 though, but a lot of it was backloaded.
But question, why did you only get 37 of the 40? Was it just not all guaranteed?
Well, that's the thing. No, it's not guaranteed. And so the thing is, the guaranteed money they usually give it to you up front. Like, so mine was like 20 something that was guaranteed, right? 20.5. And so they give it to you in different installments, in different ways. Off rip, I got like a $2.2 million check as soon as I signed.
Okay, so you got basically, you woke up one morning with $2 million in your checking account.
Yeah, it was a very surreal moment for me.
Oh,
yeah,
like that's an insane. Also, how do you deal with that banking wise?
Well, you pay people.
Like, what do you do with that?
Well, you pay people for that, right? Because like it's not, you don't just put that much money into a bank. Well, you can.
Like,
but
you're not supposed to though, right?
You want to do it in very smart ways, in different assets and different investments, stuff like your amount. Like when you're in like the 10-figure range, then you want to do it in very different ways. You don't just have it all in Bank America, right? But so like I got that like $2.2 million check, and then you get like, I think for the first year I made, I don't even remember, it was like 9 or something like that. And then they divvy that out. I can't even remember, it's been so long, but they divvy that out in installments bi-weekly, right? So like there was at one point I was getting like every 2 weeks, it was like $400,000 checks, $500,000 checks.
But don't you also not get paid during the summer?
Yeah, no, you only get paid while you're playing. During the summer, you don't get paid. I mean, but if you blow through $9 million,
well, I'm not saying that, but it's not
you
like 52 weeks a year that they're.
I know dudes though who maybe not had that much, but they were on contracts where they were living check to check because their taste was that expensive and they just lived that life. And I that was never me, but there were dudes that you get $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 checks bi-weekly, $100,000 checks bi-weekly, and you live in check to check and you spend all that in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's crazy. But wait, and then back to the backloading. So
right. So, well,
so like,
go ahead.
oh wait,
go ahead.
you go. I was just gonna say, because like Travis Kelce's contract is 4 years, and I think it's from 2020, like last or 2 years ago, because he's an undrafted or free agent in 2026. So it's like he started with 2 million, but then by 2025 he's going to get paid 16 million. So is that backloading?
Yeah, that's backloading. So
because they'll have
actually
more money.
I don't know if they're gonna keep him there because that's what they do. They'll backload it because they say, okay, if he's still playing up to the level that when we signed him, odds are we'll keep him, right? But if he has any decline, that gives us justification to release him and not pay him that money, which isn't guaranteed. Right now, sometimes there's a cap hit, and then it's when it gets really fucking stupid and really nerdy. But to keep it simple, majority of the time, players that have a lot of like, and they'll backload majority of contracts, but players that have a lot of like wear and tear throughout their career, they'll backload it. That way, they save themselves money by not having to pay that player, right? And then
So
they
they'll
can get
backload
somebody
it.
else.
So they're like, "Oh, sorry, we were supposed to pay you 16 million, but now we're not
But
because
now we're gonna cut
released
you.
So they basically pay you in the front your guaranteed money.
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
Yes,
Madeline, that
yes.
year you're looking at, so his salary was technically 2.8 million. He
Yeah.
made 10.5 million that year
Yeah, I was about to say that sounded a little
because
low.
he had
Is cash
a
AAV
roster
what he actually gets
bonus,
paid?
yearly cash is how much money he got paid.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so and like I said, they divvy it up with different things, right? So like, okay, if you make the roster, you get a bonus, right? Which
Right, which like doesn't
if
make
they
sense because
pay you
he's
that much
Travis
money, you're
Kelce.
gonna make a roster, right? But they
Right.
divvy it in certain ways to like keep their like the way they move money on the books
It's
is really
all
stupid to
funny
try to avoid
accounting
cap
to get
hits.
under the
Yeah,
salary cap.
yeah, and the salary cap, there shouldn't be one, honestly. It's stupid as shit why there's a salary cap.
So
I haven't found a real reason as to why there one. There is one. Because there's
Parody.
no salary cap in baseball.
I was gonna say,
There's no salary
'cause-
cap in basketball, is there?
There's a soft cap, so you can go over it, but every dollar you go over it, you have to pay a luxury tax.
Right.
So the
Right. So,
Warriors
like,
several
but
years
they don't
ago
give a
were
fuck about
like
that.
$100 million over the salary cap, and
Couldn't care less, and it was all worth it
Right.
because they got four.
they just had to pay a
Yeah,
shit ton of money.
Yeah, so
So-
like there shouldn't be a cap. This is pointless.
so in the MLB, this doesn't exist. It's just
You can
your
pay
salary.
however
it's
much
monopoly
you want.
money. It's
But
monopoly
that's how
money.
is that how the Shohei Ohtani thing works? Because
Yeah, the Dodgers have unlimited money.
I think that's why they do it. Though now that I'm thinking about it, the reason why they put salary caps in sports is because they want to make it a fair play. So like, it incentivizes big players to go to smaller markets, like in free agency. Because if not, then what you're gonna have is like, you know, a New York or LA. They're gonna have all the free agents come because nobody wants to go to a Milwaukee or you know what I'm
Which
saying?
is what
Indianapolis,
happens in
whatever it is.
baseball.
Yeah, but I mean, who gives a shit?
I'm not for
Fuck
or
that shit.
against one or the other.
You should, as a capitalist,
No, I agree, but I was just saying that is what happens.
you should
in
let
baseball.
the market state the player's value, not an arbitrary cap.
I agree.
All right.
I'm not. I was just telling you in baseball, every free agent does go to the Dodgers or Yankees.
Yeah, I mean, as it should. Go get paid. Pay your nigga.
Okay.
Pay.
Yeah, no, because Mackenzie and I were looking at this just for our own little bit of research. And I was
Yes.
very confused on how there's just so many different bonus. Like he gets 250 grand for working out. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, they put like bonus shits in that, which I used to hate, by the way. A lot of cats skip that shit. I didn't have
And
any
then just
workout
don't
bonus in
get
mine.
250 grand because they don't want to go work out.
Because like
That's
what
ridiculous.
it is you have to work out with your team, right? With your team weight coach. And like those
Oh, but if you have
workouts
your own.
are dog shit. They're like one size fits all. And like you have to go. Basically they want to keep you there during the spring and the summer. They want to keep you there.
Mhm.
Whereas if you go to like what's tailor made for you and what you need to work out, where I should not be doing the same workout as my lineman. I should not be doing the same weightlifting as my lineman, same running, none of that shit, right? But they keep guys there if they feel like you're, I don't know, they have their reasons, whatever the reasons are. I never had a workout bonus, but I was more of a rep. Like I remember Bill O'Brien, he was like, I didn't have like when he first came, the OTAs he emphasized. Like I remember sitting with the homie, and he was like, he had a team meeting. He was like, hey, and these OTAs. Organized team activities is OTA. Man, he was like, these OTAs, hey, and these are voluntary. They're voluntary, but the guys that want to be here, we're gonna work this, and they're voluntary. And I turned to my mouth, hey, if you say voluntary one more time, I'm not coming. Sure enough, he said, and these are voluntary. And I was like, I'm done. And so I didn't come to like the first 3 OTAs, and I get a call from my GM and the head coach. He was like, hey man, you want to lead the team? Why aren't you at OTAs? I was like, you said they were voluntary. He's like, yeah, they're voluntary, but we'd really appreciate it if you showed up. I was like, okay, well, don't tell me they're voluntary. Tell me they're not voluntary. He's like, they are voluntary. We have to say that they're voluntary, but we need you there. I was like, listen, dog, I'm a grown-up. If you give me options and I exercise that option, you can't get mad at that. if you say, hey, I want you here, Arian, then say that, and we won't have this conversation. He's like, okay, I want you here. I was like, all right, see less. But don't get mad at me for exercising the options that you gave me, though.
Is this the same Bill O'Brien that's not the BC coach?
Yes.
Yeah, same guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, but then
they don't like that shit, by the way. Football coaches hate that shit. Anytime you circumnavigate their little word games,
isn't technically like every workout in college voluntary in quotation marks?
Mm-hmm. Same shit, except I went.
Except
to
those like are not.
Yeah, because I mean you don't have no leverage in college. These cats nowadays probably do because they got bread, but like back then, bro, I'm eating scraps. So like, I don't have no choice. I'm gonna go back home.
Yeah.
Nah, my mom was. I think she was still in the project.
You know what? All this this conversation would be good for a college class.
Facts, bro.
Contracts 101.
Facts. God damn, man.
Because then,
go ahead.
Why wouldn't Travis Kelce get all of his guaranteed money? Like, it's like if he doesn't go to the workouts, that's not guaranteed money.
Well, see, that's the thing. When you in it, like as a grown man now, if I'm looking back and I walked away from $100,000 from just going to that workout, I'm looking at young Aaron like, yo, you dumb, bro. You should have gone ahead and did that, bro.
Right.
But when you in it, that's when you Travis Kelce, you probably made a good 30, 40, 50, maybe $60 million. $100,000
doesn't mean as much.
$100,000 is not gonna move you.
Right.
Like I remember,
that's crazy.
I remember going to like speaking events and stuff. I get paid like $25K, $40K to just go speak somewhere, to go talk. But after a while, like it doesn't. To me, it was never worth the time. Like
doesn't move
unless
the needle.
It was like a layer, it didn't move the needle. So like if it wasn't like over a certain amount, I was like, I'm not going. Like now, obviously my demand is lower because I'm just a retired athlete. No thing more than a retired athlete. Your demand is low, so I'm not getting those offers anymore. Like, so if somebody tell me now, like, yo, you got $40K to go speak, I'll go speak, because now I'm not thinking of it like, it's a waste of my time. Now I'm thinking about it. That's a year's worth of my mother's retirement salary that I can continue to pay for, right? Like, so
or for
like
your kids,
all of that stuff, right? My 529 plan I set up for my kids for their college, like all that stuff, like all of that stuff is like when you start to think it as a grown man. But when you're in your 20s and you think this money is just continuing to flow, it's hard to argue with that logic. Man, I got 60 M's in the bank. Where the fuck I'm gonna go? I'm chilling. I'd rather have my peace.
Kelce has made $77 million, and in 2 years he will have made $107 million.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And that doesn't even count. Think about that too. That doesn't
even
count
all his endorsements and shit.
Pfizer money.
Oh yeah, that's doubled. You can double that 107.
How much was the Pfizer? How much did he get from that?
I don't know.
There's no telling.
And then also, like, New Heights is also cutting him a fat check.
What is New Heights?
His podcast
with Jason.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're cutting a huge check for him. His endorsements are crazy. He's also got State Farm.
Pfizer paid him $20 million.
No,
is that public?
You're joking.
What's the source on that?
Okay, Marca.com.
The hell's Marca?
Fans lash out after that's wait.
He may have been paid
I don't know where the
$20
million number's coming from, but multiple places are saying
this one says up to $5 million.
Where did you see that?
You'll never know how much they paid him. It's all under the table. Whatever they say, triple it.
Yeah, this one is sportskita.com. This says up to $5 million.
Sportskita is saying $20 million.
I'm looking.
It doesn't matter.
It says $5 million. Anyways, but like Travis Kelce may be making nearly as much yearly through outside of football as he is inside of football.
Oh yeah,
that's
I've made more off the field than I did on, for sure.
Huh?
Yeah.
But in like stocks and shit, right?
Yeah, not by endorsement,
right.
not necessarily stocks, like investments, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, like me and Mackenzie were just like, damn, he is rich, and she's even richer. Like, what a treat.
She got monopoly money. She dominates, yo.
She's got more money than like most countries.
Yeah, you want to know who $100,000 doesn't mean anything to? That's Taylor Swift.
That's facts, yo.
Taylor Swift going to the kitchen for a snack. Those are my favorite memes in the world.
so funny.
Wait, what? I'm not.
Somebody released all of her, because she's a huge lib, big on the environment, all that stuff, and she puts more carbon and stuff into the air than anybody on her private jet. And so now the big meme on Twitter is like Taylor Swift going to the fridge and it's a plane taking off.
Her on her plane.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
It is funny. But yeah, no, they're just so rich together. Like it's a crazy
What's happening in the Taylor sphere? I know they digging up gossip and shit.
Oh yeah, we went over this on Monday a little bit, but
oh my bad.
No, you're good. The new thing is that the Swifties, me not included, are obsessed or upset that they saw Taylor Swift may have been enjoying some THC product.
Are they mad because they're smoking?
There are some that are upset that she is clubbing, and they're like, she's never been clubbing before. Like, is Travis Kelce gonna get her addicted to drugs? That is what's circling in that circle right now. I'm not saying I agree with them. I think that's ridiculous, but that is what's new on that one.
That's hilarious, yo.
Yeah, and apparently my mom informed me this morning that people were gonna try to see if she was gonna go to the Chiefs parade today. Not a chance in hell that she's going to that, or she's not there.
Well, thank God. Unfortunately, breaking news: there 5 to 10 people were shot right after the parade. Hate to report that, but it's a developing story as of right now.
I did just see it on Twitter.
Yeah,
shot at the parade.
I wasn't gonna bring it up, but
2 people have been put into custody.
Okay, well, I'm sorry for that.
You might be right though, because we at 2:30 right now, Billy. The pivot into the plague right now.
Yeah, it would be a hard pivot to the plague.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. All right, can I keep it a buck with y'all?
Yeah,
that shit was boring as fuck researching that shit. I was like, okay, we talk about I can give y'all the Spark Notes version. Rats infected humans and killed a lot of motherfuckers. It's really not that.
There's some interesting parts that we'll save.
The one thing that was it kind of low key sparked the Renaissance.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, kind of bit.
It also, we'll save for when we actually discuss it, but there are a lot of remnants of the plague, not just like a biological sense. Like, we have all been changed by the plague. Like, genetically, the plague changed us in a way that it was a mass selective event. So, like, if you had certain genes, you weren't going to survive. So it wiped out like a whole, like, basically the most interesting fact I saw is that a lot of people with autoimmune diseases that's directly from the plague, because people who had hyperactive immune systems were more likely to survive the plague. And then when those get compounded over generations, like if you're if you have like both of those genes instead of one, much kind of like sickle cell, the Crohn's disease pops up. That was very interesting.
Yeah,
but we'll get into more of the history another time.
Kind of mid.
Nobody wants to work anymore, I tell you.
Okay, give us your bubonic plague fact that you found out, Big T.
I had a couple that I liked.
Okay,
well, tell us.
Fire one off.
So the first one was that I had always heard the Black Death. I thought that was just like synonymous with the bubonic plague. They were the same thing. It wasn't. The Black Death was one of the 3 pandemics that the bubonic plague spurred.
Yeah.
The other one was there was a group of people who they all believed that the plague was like punishment from God for wickedness. So they went around from town to town, like beating the shit out of themselves with like whips to show all the townspeople like we're atoning for our sins so that God won't give us the plague.
So beat the shit out of themselves for no reason.
Yeah.
People still do that today on Easter. Yeah, there's like
they beat themselves?
Yes, there's masochistic like monks that whip their backs. It's in like in the Philippines, like some sects of like it's in the Da Vinci Code.
Monks celebrate Easter?
Yeah, Christian monks celebrate Easter.
There's Christian monks.
You didn't know there's Christian monks?
Nah.
Well,
I thought I thought I thought
friars,
monks were
right?
Buddhists.
Like the monasteries the Vikings raided?
I thought monks were like Buddhists.
I think that monks is like a Western term that was applied to the Buddhists.
That could be. I don't.
Like they're
I don't know
Catholic
nothing.
monks.
Flagellants.
It exists in
Flagellants.
it exists in several religions in the world, including Christianity, Hinduism,
Sikhism.
Sikhism, Jainism,
Jainism is
and
fire. Okay.
Buddhism.
So when
Monks
I was
are not officially a part of Islam or Judaism.
didn't know that. But I thought monks was like some separate. I've never really looked into it.
Well, now you
But
know.
so absolutely. The Jainism. Like look up Jainism real quick, Maddie. So like when I was like first like a newfound atheist, one of the books I read was
Hmm.
I think it was a letter to Christianity or something like that. Sam Harris wrote it, right? Which I'm not a super fan of anymore. But he explained how like Jainism, he talked about how Jainism, he was like the only religion he feels like makes humanity better is Jainism. So Maddie, if you could read
Yep.
like the tenets of the like Jainism, just like what it's about, it's fascinating.
So it says Jainism is one of the world's oldest religions, originating in India at least 2,500 years ago. The spiritual goal of Jainism is to become liberated from the endless cycle of rebirth and to achieve an all-knowing state called moksha. Apologies if I'm not saying that correctly. It also says that it is a transtheistic religion holding that the universe was not created and will exist forever. It is independent, having no creator, governor, judge, or destroyer. In this, it is unlike the Abrahamic religions and the theistic strands of Hinduism, but similar to Buddhism. So it's basically that, like, so if I'm getting this correct, it's like nothing that you say or do will change any, like, we're here.
The
I
basic tenets of it was, I think that's like there's some overarching themes there, but the basic tenets of it was like, and why Sam Harris referenced it was because like there are certain aspects of Christianity and Islam and Judaism that have like, and subjectively, of course, I would say, but have like immoral premises, right? And the interpretations of them are kind of up for interpretation. Whereas Jainism, one of the main tenets was like, be a good person. Like, and I'm paraphrasing the shit, but like being a good person and like being kind and generous, like all that shit is literally part of a tenet of like, and so you cannot do anything to hurt anybody else, or else you cannot be in that religion.
Don't they only eat berries?
I don't know enough about them.
I'm pretty sure this was the most interesting thing I heard about Jainism is that they won't even eat plants.
It says it promotes a plant-based lifestyle with an emphasis on fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds, while abstaining from root vegetables, onions, and garlic. They also do not eat meat, fish, eggs, or any animal ingredients.
Yeah, so they basically try to eat nuts and berries mostly, and leaves, stuff that doesn't kill kill the plants, which is fascinating. It's like literally like they don't want to kill anything.
Yeah, they're like super peaceful. Like that's
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it also says that hold on, sorry. It says that in addition to nonviolence, Jainism has 4 additional vows that guide believers. Always speak the truth, do not steal, show sexual restraint with celibacy as an ideal, and do not become attached to worldly things.
Yeah.
It's kind of like leave it better than you found it.
Yeah.
Dude, I have to say, those like that whole leaving earthly things in that state of Buddhism, especially Zen Buddhism, where you have no wants, no needs, no desires. You know, like if you could, you try to stop breathing. Like those monks are able to do some insane things, like run up the sides of mountains, like practice. Hear me out. Look up Look up
Now, when you
Zen.
say now my skepticism antennas are
Right.
tingling, but I'm open. You say they run up the sides of mountains?
There's this basically, wait, it's
This
called
is Ash Wednesday, Bill.
right, right. I saw this on Twitter.
Okay.
There's a video of a monk walking up a vertical mountain.
Okay. Now I gotta see it.
Yeah.
Now there's a monk defying gravity, and I have to see it because that sounds like oh bullshit.
Yep, I found it and I'm sending it into
Send it to the group, man.
I'm on a PC, so you're gonna get in your email.
Okay.
But like let me find the exacts. Um,
I'm just gonna Google that. Monk walks vertically up a mountain.
oh yeah, it's monk
Oh,
walks
there,
up a steep
there
mountain.
it goes. It came in. It came in. All right. That's bruh. That's not.
But look at the angle that they really are. Because the woman who's taking the video is
Mm,
doing rock climbing.
she's so the angle is it a very steep mountain? Yes. Yes. But the way she's standing and the way the the angle is pointed, it makes it seem a little wilder than it actually is.
Okay, so
I see what you're saying. It does look wild, but he's not walking up a vertical mountain. It's impossible to do so. I don't fuck how much you don't eat
I've
meat.
talked about this before, but basically the guys behind NoFap talk about how uh
What's no fap?
semen retention, how like monks have gained like mystical crazy powers from abstaining from ejaculating.
You don't believe that though, right?
I mean, when you see some of the like, do you ever see the videos of the monks like breaking bricks and like doing crazy stuff that just seems like not supernatural, but like superhuman?
Just very no, I haven't.
It's out there. Shaolin monks. Okay, how are Eastern monks able to do seemingly superhuman feats?
Seemingly.
They're super strong. Wait, I'll
I
find
don't
some
know.
better
I
examples.
don't know. I do believe there is some there's a lot of value to meditation. There's a lot of value to diet. There's a lot of value to hydrating. There's a lot of value to um I guess just clarity of thought in general. But some of the superhuman things that you're saying, like vertically walking up a mountain, like no, you can't.
So a lot of stuff like meditating in the cold, like basically their bodies, they meditate sometimes in wet robes and the robes freeze and they're able to do it hours on end.
Yeah, no,
They're
I absolutely think there's value in meditating as
yeah.
far as like um you know uh like I've seen studies where like meditation actually changes like neural pathways kind of like psychedelics do, right?
Yeah.
It kind of a lot of the same effects. You can change your breathing patterns, you can change blood flow, stuff like that. Um but as far as like doing superhuman things, I remain a skeptic about
Like
mystical superhuman things.
I wish I had examples at my finger. Monks can run on water, okay?
Okay, okay. See now we're getting into the
Okay, so Shaolin monk runs atop water for 125 meters, sets new record.
okay. Let me send me that.
Oh, what the fuck? This monk's running on floating boards. What the fuck?
Jesus monk. Send that.
Let me find it. If you just Google it, Shaolin monk runs atop water for 125 meters.
You're right.
So this dude's, I think he's just stepping on floating wood.
Are they on a whole bunch of orange?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Shaolin might be. This is not running on water, B. There's literally
Yeah. I heard that and now I'm like, wait a second, are these guys just punking all of us?
It's
Are they all
goofy.
just up in their temples, like
It's,
thinking of ways to trick people?
it's so goofy. His man's literally sinking, walking on a bridge over the water. What a clickbait story.
We got to figure out what these guys really are doing. Are they really just like sitting up there, like meditating, but then be like, hey, how can we trick everyone to think that we're like superhuman?
There's stories upon stories and allegations upon allegations of like monks molesting kids as well. Same shit. I think the when you abstain from one of your most natural desires, it brings about like weird behavior. I think sex is can be healthy, uh, especially ejaculation, right? Just in general, or masturbation. But if you look up like monks, molesting kids and stuff, like there's actually those accusations. Catholic priests, they take a vow of celibacy, and we already know that the Catholic Church has been, accused of that for so long. But I just think if you abstain from something so natural that I don't think it's necessarily a good thing.
Okay,
But
so some of the other things they do is throw needles through glass. And they're able to, through meditation, resist cold and hot temperatures. Some
I mean, so
superhuman
was I. I used to
strength.
get in cold tubs all the time.
Yeah, but yeah, I need to get a cold tub. But throwing needles through glass is insane.
Yeah. So Cuz did not walk on water. I'm
He
just
did not.
gonna put that up there. That he did not walk on water. He was on a board, man. Hey, we had 2:45, man. We
You
ain't
want to
getting
do
to the play.
voicemails?
Do we have new
Sure,
ones?
yeah.
We do. Do you want some?
Yeah, knock it out.
I have two. Just real. I mean, we're already doing it. I mean, you might
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
What's up, Macrodosing from Tennessee? Go Vols. So I'm calling to ask, I'm getting married here in a few months, and I was making the invite list the other day, me and my fiance, and I got to like going through like my college friends I wanted to invite, and there was one girl who we've remained friends, but we did have a very, very hot and steamy, I guess you could call it, situationship, our senior year. For context, I've been graduated about 3 years now. Should I invite her to the wedding?
No, dude.
Like I said, we sort of remain in touch. Like, we're in group texts together or whatnot. Do y'all think it's a good idea? Also, when we were hooking up, she had a boyfriend, and she's still with that boyfriend.
Oh my God.
So that's also part of it.
Oh
Anyway,
God, you know what's the worst thing
let me know
about
what you
this?
think. Stay beautiful.
All of it.
I hope the boyfriend doesn't listen.
Yeah, so
You shouldn't have called into this show.
On some real shit, hold on. Blank out his name. If he said his name, blank out his name. I don't want no parts of no family drama, bro. Blank out buddy name. Now listen, buddy, you know who you are. And you know that you damn well for sure should not invite you. I said he sound like I thought he was gonna say like I graduated like 15 years ago.
He's my age.
Yeah, but it's just happened. You still
Yeah, he's
you know what
my
I'm saying?
age. He's
You
me
still-
and his age.
You still see her and get a little excited. Nah,
No,
hell no.
You know what? No, but this conundrum's even worse because it's gonna come up. This woman's not gonna get invited. They've maintained a friendship, and the
He said that they
boyfriend
sort of stay in touch. I don't know if friendship is what I would call that.
Right. So, but when he finds out, oh, why didn't you get invited to so and so's wedding? The boyfriend. When the boyfriend finds out that she's not invited to this wedding, and she doesn't have a good answer because they seemingly have just been platonic friends and should be invited to the wedding, then
Yeah, but why would
that's
she
going to
know?
open up the whole can of worms of why didn't you get invited to the wedding? Then it's like, well, we used to hook up while we were dating.
But like when you're not invited to a wedding, you're not like, oh, there's like certain things.
Yeah.
People aren't like being like, oh, why didn't you get invited? It's just like weddings are weddings. Like people don't get invited.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It's like not
Agreed.
that big a deal.
Yeah.
From the sounds of it, like this is someone who both the fiance and probably the boyfriend expect to be invited because they never probably thought they were ever non-platonic.
That's a leap I'm not willing to make because I don't know.
But then he wouldn't be raising the question.
I think it more so sounded like, and again, I don't know, it more so sounded like she was in the friend group of people that were also getting invited, but not necessarily like she was 100% definite getting invited.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know.
But it sounds like you want to have your cake and eat it too, my guy. That's what it sounds like. Because the whole we still keep in touch thing, also sus. Let's keep it a buck with me, John Doe. Keep it a buck with me, man. You and I, you know and I know that it's very hard for men and women to be platonic friends. It can happen, but it's very hard. But if y'all have already had hot, steamy, loving, odds are that platonic shit's out the window, my guy. And so odds are if the opportunity comes up again, it will happen again. So let's just not play with fire, man. There's too many hearts to be broken.
And the fact that this woman cheated on her boyfriend with you.
That's what I'm saying. So it's already there. So you keeping an ace in the hole is what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're not slick. I've been there, brother. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Plenty of fish in the sea. You about to marry a fish. No more fish for you. You're done. You're done. You are now you're Jainism. No more meat.
No
dog.
fat.
No more meat, dog. You done, son. Don't stop communicating with her. Be like, hey, we had what we had. I don't want to cross no boundaries. About to get married.
To have a wife. Yeah.
Dude, this guy shouldn't get married.
They both, him and the hot and steamy girl, they both sound like bad people. I don't.
Hot and steamy girl wants.
They young. Listen, they 23 years old, 24 years old, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, why is he getting married?
He shouldn't be getting. First of all, you shouldn't be getting married at this age, bruh. That's my advice to you. But second, if you're gonna do this, understand that marriage is not like I'm ready to get married, so you should have all your T's crossed and dotted I's. No, what it is, and this is long-term relationships in general, in my opinion, right? And this is just my opinion, but it is a journey with yourself and with your partner that has to be the bedrock. Communication has to be the bedrock, right? So if you're having desires, you have to talk about that stuff. But if you're having these little side jaunts where you're getting a little mental stimulation from, and you like checking up on them and stuff, it's just you going down the road of temptation, and you're not giving yourself a fair chance to have a successful marriage. So I always advise you to cut it off, my brother.
He calls off his marriage.
The thing is,
not the marriage.
This woman secretly wants to
cut off the side piece.
Well, he's not married yet, so there's nothing to call off.
Right.
The side piece is definitely trying to hijack your relationship because she kind of feels in a weird way that you hijacked her relationship. So she wants to get
coming to wild conclusions. You be jumping to wild ass conclusions.
No, dude. These things happen.
That was her choice to be with both of them. That's not. What are you saying?
But she wants to she sees you going into sunset with a wedding and everything, and she's stuck with the same dude that she cheated on. So there's something there if they're keeping touch.
I wouldn't listen to anything Billy said. Just stop talking to that girl.
Don't invite her, basically.
Do not invite her to the wedding, homie.
That's crazy.
Especially if it's an open bar, bro. It can get weird.
She could show up to the bachelor party.
Also, kind of crazy.
You making her out to be some psycho that's jealous he's getting married, Billy. We don't know this woman.
He was the side piece, like, to her.
That's true. You was the side piece.
Not her.
Unless he was also cheating on his new
fiance
with it too. He didn't add that part. He didn't really specify.
Also, kind of crazy that you would what did you expect us to say?
Yeah,
Billy,
it's chill, bro.
He wanted to say Billy. He wanted to hear what Billy had to say.
To see what Billy had to say.
Fuck it, bro. It was a long time ago. 3 years.
No,
she's down.
Don't invite her to the wedding and make sure she doesn't show up at the bachelor party.
I don't think she'd show up at the bachelor party.
That's wild.
Come on, I'm just making it interesting. A simple no would have been lame.
There you go. You made it so interesting, Billy. Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
Hey gang, it's Lily from Atlanta. I'm calling in. I'm in a little bit of a pickle and I need some advice. So I started dating this guy recently and he is amazing. I love hanging out with him. And one of my friends, as soon as I started hanging out with him, started shit-talking him, saying he's boring and she doesn't like him. But, I mean, he's not dating her, so I don't really give a fuck what she thinks. And then I told him I would be his girlfriend, and she found out from somebody else, and she's all pissed off at me because I didn't send her an official announcement or something. I don't know. Anyways, now I'm in this pickle because not only is she one of my very good friends, and I should have told her, but she's friends with all of my other friends, and I feel awkward, and like our friends are picking sides, like it's about to be World War III all over this biddy. So this is such a ridiculous request, but please help me figure this out. I don't know what to do.
Got her.
Thanks so much. Love the pod.
She didn't
Stay
tell her
gorgeous, stay
friend
handsome.
she
Love
was
y'all.
dating
Bye.
a boring guy?
Your friend wants to fuck your boyfriend.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know if I'm making that leap as well. Hold on. Let's pump the brakes a little bit before you go. Maddie, you went full tilt on him.
What
I don't know if that's...
Yeah, Maddie, you're trying to make it interesting.
What have I done?
Oh my God.
What have I done?
How do we
This
know?
man,
Okay.
the
what
last
led you-
man,
what led you
obvious,
to that
crazy.
conclusion?
No,
What led you to the conclusion that Shorty wants to bone her man?
she's jealous. She's jealous, and like, if you're just saying like you're okay, for example, Mackenzie and I are very good friends. If you just started seeing someone randomly, I was like, he's boring, like out of the blue with no, if she just started dating them, you have not hung out with your friends,
Right.
like guy she's seeing enough to be like, he's boring, and say that to your face, like, and then you're pissed because you didn't get a formal note that they're dating. Like,
That part's really weird.
that part's really weird.
Okay. Fair point. The fair
Like,
point
I
is...
think you just want the in with the boy.
I don't know if I'm willing to make that jump, but I think you bring up an interesting, aspect of it.
Why do you need to have a formal announcement that your friend is officially dating someone? You're a fully grown adult.
Agreed. I agree 1,000%. There is something underlying there, and I would advise Shorty to be like, let's have a conversation. They don't need to go here. Like, what's the issue? One, why do you feel the need to tell me somebody I'm talking to who I obviously enjoy?
Right.
I was dating Trevor last time. You understand what I went through with Trevor, right?
Exactly.
If I'm happy, why do you feel the need to tell me he's boring? If he's not boring to me, then what does it matter? You know what I'm saying? So like, that's something you need to tell her. The next thing you need to do is like, why do you feel the need? Like, why do I have to? Well, okay, I'm looking at this from both sides, all right? Because if I'm emotionally aware and I'm her friend, right? If I'm emotionally aware and I call her new dude boring, and then I found out she's dating him, obviously she probably wouldn't tell me because I felt a certain way about him in the first place. So she probably didn't feel comfortable telling me.
I'm closing off.
Yeah. And so that's a conversation that she needs to have. It's like, I didn't feel comfortable telling you because you called him boring, which rubbed me the wrong way.
Right.
Also, I feel like boring is not something to, like Madeline said, tell someone right when they start. Like, if he was like a bad person or like did something mean, that'd be one thing. But like to be like, he's boring. Like, what do you know?
Usually this means in a roundabout way, you either know some dirt on him, or you mess with him in the past, or you know somebody that did mess with him in the past.
Or like she's jealous that her friend is in a relationship. I don't know her relationship status.
That could be, and I don't want to presume on the other John's character. I just want to handle what we can control here.
Also, kind of crazy that your friend group is picking sides over this.
Weird.
Again, you're fully grown adults. Like, I do not think this is sophomore year of high school. In my opinion. Opinion.
Yeah, y'all should be able to talk this out. Y'all should be able to talk this out.
It sounds like there's tension from something else.
Yeah.
That is getting placed onto this situation.
Yeah.
If other people are taking this other girl's side, there's a possibility that we have an irreliable narrator, as they say.
See, here you go, making more jumps. I'm not saying
there's more
that.
to the story.
Unreliable. Like, we may be just getting the story from the person who's trying to craft themselves in the right. Like, this person may have, the dude may have gone on a date with the girl before, and she's just omitting that.
But okay,
fact.
That could be the case. I'm not willing to make that jump, but
I think there's more to this story.
I don't think she'd admit that though for any reason.
Also, there's 3 sides to every story: their side, your side, and the truth. So there's obviously details we're missing.
I want to hear the other girl's side of the story because I think that would really shed light on the situation.
Have you ever seen that Key and Peele, Billy, where he's ordering the pizza and he's just a big he's just a big dude, and he's just ordering the pizza, and the guy on the other phone, he's like, I don't remember her name. He's like, Veronica. He's like, hold on, Veronica. He's like, I feel like we have this deep connection.
Yeah.
That's you with this shit. You know everybody deeply. And in all these scenarios,
Billy's like,
you
this
know to a T, like, no, I'm telling you, man. Look, man,
Billy's
Short
like,
got
this
it
is
out.
really gonna ruin their happy hour this Friday. I think it's a little bit childish
Definitely.
to be so upset about something like this. Also, I think it's not nice if this friend is like, if the boy and her hooked up in the past, or she knows dirt on him, you wouldn't go for the he's boring line. You would, if you're friends, you would say, hey, Mackenzie, I know Jack. Him and my friend used to hook up. He was not nice to her. I would stray away. Hey, Mackenzie, me and Jack used to hook up in college. I really don't feel comfortable with you seeing him. Those are ways to approach that conversation, not he's boring.
Yeah, it's wild.
And then also getting upset that you didn't find out that they were officially dating. Like, if there was something actually wrong, or if she actually had like real dirt on this kid, which again could be possible, but I don't think boring is the way you go about that.
Nah.
Which is what's making me think she's jealous rather than she's trying to be a good friend and look out for you.
But also, this person never admitted any wrongdoing of any kind.
It doesn't seem like she's done anything. She literally just is like dating.
I feel like we have this deep connection. I think I like you. I think I love you.
Like, I just would feel.
Hey, I'm not boring.
I'd feel so weird if I just started seeing a guy and Mackenzie was just like bore.
Right, like that'd be so
sloppy,
mean.
lazy.
Yeah, that would be mean as shit. And it's like, that's why I feel like the other joint knows something about him.
Like she's being petty,
needs to holler at you about it. So
also, boring isn't enough of a term to be like, oh, he's bad for me.
Yeah,
there are plenty of boring people in this world that make great people.
Facts.
Right.
Well, good luck with your situation, man.
Yeah. I think if I was her, I would be like, what's your issue?
Yeah, what's the problem here?
Communicate, man. Communicate. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest advice in any situation.
Look inward at your friend group and be like, why are we taking sides over something as frivolous as this? Weird.
1000%.
Because she hasn't said what she really did wrong.
Okay. I'm on her side.
Could be the
Any
case.
female Macrodosian is a friend of mine.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. And is right.
Yeah.
So
not going to say facts on that one. Because remember, there's somebody out there that's a Macrodosian that is a murderer, yo. Just
I
by
know, but
the odds.
She's not.
We don't. Maybe
none of the women though.
None of the women are.
None of the women for sure. Yeah.
So she's fine.
Because they somehow get away with it.
She's my friend, and she's right.
You see, you giving real incel vibes off right now, dog.
Yeah, you're not giving me the best vibes right now.
Yeah. Okay,
you're giving me
the boring guy.
Yeah, there it is.
So they said that shit simultaneously.
I just think it's hilarious to think that there's not as many female murderers because we just don't catch them.
I bet you do think that's hilarious.
It's just like, what?
Yeah.
No, women are just better at getting away with murder.
Yes. I think that's funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Attention to detail.
Keep it interesting. Keep it interesting,
man. Well, I think that about does it, man. For the episode today. What are we gonna call this? Because we didn't do a topic.
I know.
Should we do football 101?
We could say, like professional athlete contracts. Breaking down.
You know what? Call it who needs PFT? What was that?
Oh no, that's so mean.
Who needs PFT?
Those downloads are gonna go down, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Call it that.
We need PFT.
Call it. See, I'm thinking of asshole things.
PFT is definitely here.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Or what if we just give it a totally false title?
Keep it interesting.
Billy,
keep it interesting.
Just gave up
lying.
Just gave up lying for
and also still did not give that footage to PFT.
You are struggling. You've lied 7 times in 3 hours.
Wait. Put those put those.
That was exact. Might have been hyperbole, but at least 2 or 3 for sure.
How?
They'll catch you in the comments. They'll catch you in the comments.
We'll go, I'll look back. I'll look back on the tape.
Yeah, you should. One of these times we have a Billy Lie count over a whole episode. Maybe not this one because he was cognizant about it, but a Billy Lie count would be fun.
We're gonna get an intern this summer and only have it be for Billy.
Yes,
like for keeping Billy.
We'll start a group chat without him, so he never knows when we're gonna do the lie count.
Yeah,
love that. Love that. All right, y'all. That's Macrodosing. Stay positive or not. Shit's crazy out there, man. Do your thing. Much love.
Happy late Valentine's Day.
Oh, happy late Valentine's Day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you still got time to slip a dinner or something in there, a card, some roses or something. Do your thing. To all my procrastinators out there, man. Good luck.
Wait, I do. But before we leave, a quick question for Madeline and Mackenzie. If you were dating someone and they didn't do anything on Valentine's Day, either just forgot, didn't know, or just like chose not to, but then the next day gave you like a card and flowers, would that be better or worse?
I've had a very similar situation to this. Told me he was going to do all these things for Valentine's Day, did none of them, didn't get me flowers, did nothing for me, and then 3 weeks later got me a potted plant and was like, sorry about that one. I'll catch you next year. There was no next year.
Did it never come up? Like if that happened, I'd be like, it's Valentine's Day. Like, I wouldn't be mad, but like.
Oh no, it was catastrophic.
He just didn't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm. He was just like, it was a lot of I was gonna make us a dinner reservation, but there were no dinner reservations left. I was gonna get you flowers, but Kroger ran out of flowers. I was gonna get you a card, but CVS had none left. Do not be that guy.
I think the next day kind of depends. Like, if they like genuinely forgot, I guess that's like, I don't know.
We don't live in a world where you can forget things like that.
No, that's true.
You know what I saw?
Here's some advice.
Better than
you know what I saw today?
Here's some advice.
In
fellas.
Oh,
okay.
Oh.
This goes out to the fellas. If you can't do anything on actual Valentine's Day, you have to do something small before indicating that the Valentine's Day festivities may happen on the weekends or the next day or whenever it can happen. So like if you're swamped at work and you really can't get time off, you got a project due, and it's Valentine's Day, throw a card on the month. So if like the day or two before and be like, reservation later, festivities later, and it shows the pre-thought because it's all about the planning.
But I don't think the pre-thought's there if the Valentine's Day is getting forgotten. I don't
It's
think
not
there was
getting
thoughts
forgotten.
on 12th and 13th if the 14th is getting forgotten.
It's
so
not
you're just saying if you're busy, do something another day. That's
yeah,
all you're
but you
saying.
can't
That's
do it.
different.
You have to indicate the other day is coming way before the Valentine's Day even happens.
That's so different.
Yeah, but it's all about the planning. That's what people, it does the flowers and everything, it's just the plan. For some reason, the thought of it before really helps the situation.
Big T, what were you going to say?
Yeah.
In I believe it's 2027, Valentine's Day is on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oof.
That's going to be
That's
Bad.
but I feel like
Wow.
everyone is just going to do it on
That year's
Saturday.
gonna be wild, bro.
Yes.
That year's gonna be wild.
That's a Saturday.
That year's gonna be wild.
No, they're
That's-
going to have moved the Super Bowl to President's Day weekend and added the game by then.
Okay.
I think if you totally forget Valentine's Day, it's almost a kick in the dick to get something on the 15th.
That's what I was asking. Like, I feel like that would be
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, it's like, well,
Yeah, like it
here's
depends.
this.
Yeah, but it would be
Right.
like, okay.
Again,
thanks.
everything's circumstantial, but like if
Yeah.
you just completely spaced out and forgot something and you completely forgot and you just show up the 15th.
But like you should be smart enough if like your girlfriend got you something like to scramble that day and get it. So if it's like coming the next day, it was like clearly they didn't even try to like do something that day.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least say like, oh, the flowers are coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
The flowers don't need to come tomorrow. They should have come today.
Yeah.
And we also live in a world where it's like it's 2024. Like I could literally order flowers right now and be here in like 20, 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah. So it's
exactly.
like it shouldn't be the next day.
It's too
It's hard to forget about that if that's what's
Yeah.
important to you.
Yeah.
But again, communication is key. Communicate with your partner if this is an important thing. Just write it on your calendar, write it on your notes, have an alert, set an alarm. You'll be all right, fam.
Communicate with your partner what you want to do. Like, some people want to go out to dinner. Some people want to stay in. Some people want flowers. Some people want chocolate-covered strawberries. Have it be on the 14th, not the 15th. That's
Love
all
that.
I'm saying.
Love that. All right, lovers out there, keep loving and strap it up, because maybe in love now, but you might not later. Peace.